morning, good morning, good morning. One, two. First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Time to get up and move your body.
Yeah.
One, two, one, two.
Test this thing on.
Sounding smooth, like butter.
Like butter, baby.
All right. Cameras up. Sounds good. Jazz
All
hands.
systems are going.
Radio's up. Do hear the music, right? We ain't just bobbing our head and nothing.
I hear it.
You sound marvelous. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, good morning. It is Monday, September 25th, 2023. Man.
Already.
I guess we're officially in. Are we in fall officially?
Yeah, I think so. I want to say the 22nd, 23rd.
It has fallen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thanks for everybody that's joining us this morning. This warm fall morning out here in Omaha.
Yeah.
Shout out to the 630 crew getting up for checking us out on the radio channel. Let us know how the mix was.
Vibes.
And shout out to you, the early morning hello people.
Hello.
Pops gives us a good Monday morning. First Sky and mad love from Vegas. Appreciate you, Pop.
Hey.
Very much. And Leia Keister says, magnificent Monday to all. Right on.
Hey.
Judy Prinzler in the house. She says, a happy Monday morning, family. How you doing, Miss Prinzler?
Yes. Welcome.
Pop says, you sound marvelous. Marvelous.
Oh, thank you.
Right on. Mark Manor in the chat saying, good morning from the edge of the mighty Missouri. Not going in, just writing. Okay.
The mighty Mo. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't advise taking a dip.
Nah, I don't know about. I'm not dipping in the mighty Mo.
Yeah. Might pop up in Arkansas.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you always tuning in while you're traveling, while you're on the road there, and yeah, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everything that you are doing right now for the scene of music. Appreciate you coming over to the Benson Theater the other night and checking that band out.
Hey,
I slid in for about a half hour. Checked it out. It was different. Pretty unique.
okay.
Pretty unique kind of stuff. It was a kind of a one employee described it as a TED Talk / synth pop show. So
yeah,
kind of told some stories about why the songs came about and her journey and stuff in between the performances, which was pretty cool. So different. We got different stuff happening over there all the time. That's for real. That's for sure. Let us know if you made the powwow. I don't know if you made the powwow last weekend too. Intertribal powwow went down at Metropolitan Community College like it does every year.
Man, get you some fried bread.
Man, I didn't get to make it out there, but yeah, let us know if you did. Amy H. Dot says, good morning, fam. Good morning to you. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Mark Manor said, yeah, I saw you. That was unique. Definitely unique. That's a good word for it.
Okay. Different.
Yeah. Definitely different. Right now, this is what we're all rolled up and wrapped up into right now. It's the Benalto Ball, 100th anniversary of the Benson Theater building. And it's our fundraiser happening on November the 11th. So this is coming up. And for those of you that remember when Marcus Lewis came with his big band back in the B-side days, he's gonna be back with the big band this time on the big stage. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
it's gonna be cool. But inaugural benefit for the Benson Theater. So this is a fundraiser, and we're just kind of going nuts right now, trying to get it together amongst all the other shows that are happening over there. And but yeah, man, all it's still rolling over there too. A Red Velvet Curtain open mic gets down now,
Oh, yeah.
pretty strong.
Tuesdays at the front room.
Yeah, and then everybody wants me to put a jam session together, like a monthly jam session over there too. So I'm thinking about getting that going.
Man, I'm surprised you haven't.
But the only reason why I haven't just been working.
Man,
So
got to get out of the funk, man, and get into it.
yep. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody that's joined in. I see Brooke saying good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey,
Appreciate that very much. It is what we're calling Monday now, I guess.
is that a thing?
Well, we used to have a Women's Wednesday. Now we got a Men's Monday. We're definitely talking to the senators, brother senators Terrell, McKinney, and Justin Wayne will be in the house today. And also, brother Qasim and brother Sherman Wells is coming through today as well. So it's gonna be a jam-packed show full of guests.
Yeah, man.
King's Monday. We have to bring Queen's Wednesday back for sure.
Okay, yeah. Well, man, looking forward to the conversation though. Definitely looking forward to the conversation today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots to conversate about today for sure.
Oh yeah. A lot to get into. So definitely bring your questions. Get ready to jump into the conversation. As always, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. As Paul mentioned, also let us know what you got into over the weekend. What you do? Heard y'all got some rain out there a little bit.
A little sprinkle. You know how it rains out here. Sprinkles for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms real bad. Light show, and then
Not my kind of light show.
They say it never rains in Southern California, but when it does, I remember it raining a whole lot longer than it does in Omaha.
Actually, it rains a lot here too in Georgia, man. And actually more than Florida. I remember going to school in Florida. Like, oh, it's gonna rain all the time. Nah, it rains a lot here for some reason.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, but not over the weekend. It was a pretty decent weekend, man. I did make it out to the Revolt Summit. That was nice.
Nice.
Yeah, man. It's awesome, man. I don't know if you heard Diddy's new album. It's pretty dope. The Love album. It's pretty dope.
I read about it. I haven't heard it yet. It's dope though, huh?
Yeah. Good vibes.
Okay, Diddy doing his thing.
I mean, Diddy, that's kind of his expertise is merging the R&B and the hip hop vibes, and it's an album full of that. Like it's good music, man. It's good music.
That's what's up. Amy H. said big family weekend for us. That's what's up.
Nice.
Spend some time with the fam. How's the mom and pops doing? Let us know how they're doing. Brother Mayor Sanchez says yard work is what I did.
Okay, yard work.
Did you get caught in the rain out there, or did you do you rain, sleet, or snow do that yard work anyway? Wonder. Let us know, man. And let us know what you did this weekend too. My weekend was pretty busy with work as usual, but kind of low key. I'm also working with that CPAP machine, so I'm trying to dial it in and make sure that I can make it work this time and get some sleep. So that's about it. I did getting set up for a shoot. This week is the shoot that we're gonna start with Metropolitan Community College on this prison, this revitalization. What do they call it? The
recidivism.
Yeah, we're trying to battle recidivism, but this is the reentry program. Is what I'm trying to say. Reentry program with Metro. So we're gonna meet up there, and Diane Good Collins is my contact there. She does some really good work. She's been doing it for a while, and so getting set up for this shoot this week. So it's gonna be even busier week for me than it usually is, but it's gonna be real worth it because we've been talking about doing these series of documentaries on the reentry program for a while. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I kind of anticipate us kind of leaning more into the prison reform conversation, especially as the senators get ready for the sessions coming up next year. Next year is an election year. A lot of things, of course, you're going to get your hard on crime campaigns going. So I'm expecting and kind of anticipating and seeing where a lot of our partners are pointing their efforts. It does seem like we might have to lean into the prison reform conversation a little bit more, especially knowing that it's not one of the sexy bills, if you will. We're gonna need a little push behind it.
For real. That's what's up. So. Hey, we got a guest in the chat, Cameron Edwards.
Hey,
said hosted a comedy show here in Omaha. That's what's up.
Okay,
What was the comedy show? I didn't even hear about this one.
man.
Yeah, let
Yeah.
us know about that. Will you be back? Is it something that goes that there's a reoccurring thing, or what is it? Was it one off? Let us know. Let us know. Also, Pop says weather's been changing. Rain was heavy and lasted a long time when I was a kid living in Omaha. Oh,
Hmm.
interesting.
It's
Okay.
interesting. Okay, it's a vibe music and comedy showcase. Oh, okay. Sounds like a vibe. Is it is it a recurring thing? Definitely let us know. And also, Cameron Edwards, not a name we see often in the chat. So welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, welcome back. And yeah, stay a while. Stay a while.
Yeah, man. So you stayed busy this week. Brooke said, how was Dave Chappelle?
Man, I'm still soaking it in, man. I'm still soaking it in. Dave Chappelle put me in one of his jokes. I made it in a joke.
Yeah, not in the way that you think. He was.
Nah. I wasn't the butt of the joke.
I was a little nervous about sitting in the front row with my son to be associate.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy
Who
right there.
let that guy?
Like,
Who let that guy in the front row?
man, they'll get you in a comedy show. They'll catch you slipping. Luckily, it was the other guy. It wasn't us. It wasn't us.
Yep. Just got word from my brother Justin Wayne. He got some business to take care of. He's not gonna make it this morning, so
Okay. Okay.
we'll still be talking to Senator Terrell McKinney, and also brother Qasim and brother Sherman Wells is coming through
Yeah.
today. So Men's Monday is happening. If you're just joining us, fresh edition of First Sky Omaha. We're in season 6. This is Boots to the Roots. Just to remind y'all, we do have a challenge out there for you to join your neighborhood association, and if there isn't one in your neighborhood, start one.
Yep.
This is kind of step one for Boots on the Roots, and it'd be about time for us to have Miss Kimber Snipes back on probably Wednesday and talk to her a little bit more about organizing. She everything is kind of centered around organizing in the neighborhoods, and she seemed to have the formula. So we need to get with her more regularly and talk about that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cameron Edwards says this is our 4th show installment. Man, where is it at? I gotta see where are you guys having these shows at? I've been looking for some other comedy shows. There's kind of a big comedy scene out here,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm trying to find out where the vibe comedy scene is, though. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Actually, an earthquake is about to be there in Omaha.
Say what?
Yeah. For those who don't know about earthquake, heavy hitter in the comedy world. Actually, I think he gave Dave some of his start.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yeah. He was a comedy club owner back in the day, back down here in Atlanta, and a lot of big names, a lot of heads got their start. Kind of breaking in his clubs. So yeah, if you get the opportunity, check out Earthquake, man. He's not the Kevin Harts, and he's not one of the big names, but if
He's big.
he's a legend in the comedy
I
game,
was gonna say he's a big name in our community for real.
man, for sure.
Chappelle had some legendary things that he talked about there for real. One of the
Man,
biggest thing that I took away on it was this living in each other's dream part. Like whoever has the biggest dream in the room is the one that's is the one that is gonna prevail, and you're basically living in that person's dream if that person's dream is bigger than yours. So interesting stuff. Also, he has some really great openers, including Ashy Larry was in the house.
man.
Yeah,
You name it.
yeah, it was great. It was great. Really interesting to be somewhere without my phone and without being able to tape it.
That part. You gotta
I'll
live
say
it
that.
live.
I gotta sit. I'm sitting around going, what really happened? I don't even know if my memory is attuned to remembering things anymore like that. So I'm just like, man, but it did. It took me back in my brain, like trying to recall some things, and like it made a bigger impact. To be honest,
Exactly. And it was the same at not Revolt, but Blue Note.
true that.
Blue
Yeah.
Note. Again, that was a festival Paul and I went to, and Dave was the host there. And same thing, locked everybody's phone up. And you got to live alive. It's something different about it. It's something different about living live, and just holding on to the memory, like you said, and just trying to piece it back together and almost relive it. Like when you have video and stuff, you can just watch it, but when you have to go back into the mind and remember, you kind of relive it.
You absolutely do. You don't have to relive this show though. If you miss any
Hey,
parts of this show, you can always go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube. Do us a favor, tell a friend, share the show on your page. It's going to be a good one today. Like I said, we got special guests. Terrell McKinney will be on today. Senator McKinney will be on today. Also, brother Qasim and also brother Sherman Wells. Cameron Evans says those are my brothers. I heard that. Our brothers too, man. Appreciate that. you coming on in this morning. We'll go ahead and get the show started and come back and jump into some topics before we get into our special guests. Once again, a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you. Let's go. What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Again, Paul B., Buddi3 Da Gawd, chat chambers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, Monday, September 25th, 2023. Appreciate everybody that's coming on early this morning. Really, really appreciate everybody that's jumped up and, the hello, the good morning hello people. Really appreciate that. Those of you that are just joining us and just starting the show, that's cool too, man. I gotta let all the ghost listeners know we are still looking to boost our likes on YouTube. We're trying to get up to a certain number so that we can take advantage of some of the things on the YouTube channel that will allow us to continue on with this. So if you're a ghost listener, please still go like and subscribe over at YouTube. We promise we're not going to bombard you with a bunch of emails and stuff like that. Just, a bunch of messages. I just want to get your like and subscribe. If you find this valuable when you tune in and you listen and you consider yourself a ghost listener, please do that for us. Really appreciate that very much. Malik Rogers in the chat. Oh, first of all, Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on in. Malik Rogers has reached out to Ricky Smith several times about high level of black student suspension and expulsions. Question low test scores as well. Still waiting on a response.
Okay.
Yep. I hear that. Me H No Dot gives us a good morning. All good morning to you over there at Heart Ministries. Appreciate you joining us this morning as well. We still have that flyer that we've been showing people to let people know that if you have been turned down for SNAP because of a felony on your record, we would like to interview you. Heart Ministry Centers is doing these interviews, and hopefully we'll be able to help a little bit more this time around, Amy. So definitely check it out. But please call or text Amy Holmes at 402-915-3791. Amy is a Chad Chimer and a First Sky Omaha friend and a friend of ours, so we really trust what she's doing over there. And we also saw what she just did with some of these other interviews. So it's all for us to be kind of just advocating and trying to make some things better for everybody. But they're being very respectful with the recordings, and if you want to be anonymous and so on and so forth. They take all that stuff in consideration. So trust them. If you have been in that situation, they would like to interview you. Those interviews receive a $50 gift card. So definitely check that out. You can hit Amy Holmes at 402-915-3791. And you can always hit Friends of First Sky Omaha page in order to get some more information on that. So
Yep.
But shout out to you for coming through. Appreciate you getting up early this morning with us as well. Mark Mander says, I kind of understand comedy shows, but you try to lock my phone up, I'm not entering.
I feel it.
Man, I was thinking about like sitting there looking up. There's certain moments that when Dave came through and that spotlight hit him, and the way that the atmosphere and stuff was with the spotlight, and it was really, I don't know if I would have caught that if I'd been standing there with my phone up. Just moments like that. So
Man, that's true.
I can even see snapshots in my head about certain ways he was on stage and moments of the show and so on. It was incredible. Something else.
Yeah, man.
I still would have liked to have my phone though, get a couple shots.
It's a couple. Just for the the memory bank. But
somebody snuck their phone in and got a little footage of when he brought Bud the champ up on the stage though. Did you see that?
Really? No, I didn't. But yeah, man, shout out to Bud Crawford. He was in the building as well. Got some love. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dave Chappelle was a good time, man. I definitely enjoyed just all in general. Enjoyed my time back there in Omaha. I didn't really talk about it a lot, but man, you ever get a chance? I think they're having another one in November. But please go to the next art battle.
Oh yeah.
Please go to the next art battle, man. It was It was dope. It was up there with Dave Chappelle. It was up there with with
Wow.
Funkadelic. It was definitely one of the highlights of my weekend, man. Shout out to DJ D on the ones and twos, setting the vibes with some good mixing and some good DJing. Yeah, shout out to all the artists that were there. There was the blind, I forget her name, like the blind fairy or something like that. Yeah, it was a blind artist, and she was dope. Like she was, yeah. It was quite a sight to behold, man. Definitely some talented artists, man. Shout out to Marcy Yates and the whole Culture House and everybody behind that art battle. Please make sure y'all go check out the next one.
Man, I'm not gonna miss the next one. That's what's up.
Dope, dope.
Speaking of missing stuff, I see Malik Rogers and brother Von Chapman. Good morning in the chat, talking back and forth about making some of these meetings and so on. And yeah, we're really trying to get to some of these meetings as well. I really am going to try to hit that 360 that's weekly and see if we can drum up a little some conversations there and bring some folks on and so on. But we made some efforts to put a little list together of some of the people that we want to bring on, and we got a little help now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're gonna put some things together and get a little bit more diligent on getting certain guests in that we want to talk to. So we appreciate that very much. Good morning to Marlon Harrison as well. He says I went to a cookout at Benson Park on Saturday and left after 30 minutes because the bee was really bad.
Hmm.
Oh, you talking about there was bees out there? Is that what you're talking about? Man, cookout at Benson Park sounds good. I need to start hitting some more of those this fall.
Man. Well, I
Yeah,
don't know. Is fall cookout season? Is that?
any day that you can get a decent weather day is cookout day for me. So,
Hey, you ain't lying. I done seen Papa God grill in the snow, so
Omaha ain't no joke.
guess it's always time to fire up the
Man,
grill.
the weather's been really nice though. Like yesterday was the day that we didn't have a whole lot of rain, no real sprinkles around.
Okay.
And it was about like 78, 79. So took the dragonfly out, washed them down, gassed her up. You know what I'm saying? Rolled around a little minute just because it was a nice enough day to put the top down. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like I
Kind of
gotta catch
getting.
them days when I can around
Oh
here.
yeah. Well, I mean, really though, it's my season, man. Hoodie season. That's what I love. That's what I love. Hoodie season. I'm
That's what's
a hoodie
up.
kind of guy.
I'm a spring dude, but he's a fall guy.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
That's what's up. Let's go ahead and jump into some things before we get into our guests. Because there's plenty of guests. I don't know if you guys heard, if you guys are just joining us, but we got a whole lot of guests coming in this morning. It's kind of Men's
Plethora.
Monday. Virtual plethora of guests.
Yes, yes.
Senator Terrell McKinney's coming on through. Brother Justin Wayne just called and said he's not going to be able to make it today. Got to handle some business.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have Brother Qasim Shabazz in the house coming through, and also Brother Sherman Wells. So you talking about boots to the roots?
Man.
You talking about neighborhood movers and shakers? So we got and representing the BAA on all
Yeah.
levels today too. So
Yeah. On all levels.
looking forward to talking to them brothers coming up for sure, man.
Man, don't forget, brother Senator Terrell McKinney is a part of the BAA well as
That's what
well.
I'm
So
saying.
yeah, from the capital to the streets, man. We're gonna be talking about it today. So definitely. Also, we do have a few articles to dive into. Big shout out to everybody who's a part of the Friends of page, always keeping us on our toes, always keeping the conversation going. So again, if you're not a member of the Friends of First Sky Omaha page on Facebook, join the group. Come in, tap in. That's a great way to, again, as I said, continue the conversation, see what's going on in our community. And again, big shout out to what we call our co-hosts for dropping some articles. It seems like a lot of people have some things to say about this $1.1 million. Again, we're still following the money this season. And 1.1 million in federal grant funds are set to go to another Omaha park here in North Omaha, and they're linked to a new affordable housing development. And again, housing, a hot topic here on the show, ongoing conversation we've been having. So we'd definitely love to hear your thoughts on that. Also, looking at some solutions. Again, we're all about solutions journalism here on First Sky Omaha, and looking at home-based childcare. Again, continuing our conversation about early childhood development. There's a big summit, a meeting held by the Buffett Early Childhood Development Foundation. And we're still looking for support. We're still looking for solutions, still looking for ways to keep, again, childcare providers in the community, and keep them available, and also keep them open, a big thing. So we'll look at some of the solutions that are being provided and being found, not just around the state, but around the nation.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Erica Felt that put that article in Friends of First Sky Omaha. She gives us a good morning as well over there on YouTube. Appreciate you very much.
Hey.
Rome's review says hit the like button, please, on YouTube. Definitely want to raise those numbers up. But yeah, Miss Erica Felt brought in, and this is a good idea of some chat chimers and the value of chat chimers. We have our news sources that we take a look at, but you guys also have the news sources that you take a look at. You have
Hmm.
a newsletter that comes that's talking about child care and housing, and you were able to pull something from something that you read and share it with us and hip us to it. So that's what's up. She says, "Good morning," and she says that meeting was held to talk about us without us. So
Mm.
I can't wait to start digging into this article.
Yeah, well, definitely
Yeah,
again love to hear your thoughts on that, your input. Let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. And last but not least, so we'll hopefully have time to get into this conversation. This is something we've been looking out for as well. One of the big outcomes of last year's sessions, legislative sessions, was of course the bill dealing with abortions here in Nebraska, and now we're seeing a sentence in Norfolk, Nebraska. A mother apparently has been sentenced to 2 years in prison for helping her teen daughter with an abortion. So, and actually, that they talked about that at the Dave Chappelle show as well. So, yeah, we're gonna get into some things. Definitely love to hear your thoughts. As always, let your mind be free. Also, if there's anything that we're not discussing that you feel like we should be, we're missing the mark, as Paul said. If there's some news that you come across that you think will be relevant to our conversation, yeah, drop it into the chat. Let us know, and we'll try to get into that. In the meantime, between time, Paul B,
yo
what's
yo,
the word? What's the
man,
word?
let's go ahead and jump into that article about the affordable the 1.1 million. Everybody's up on trying to figure out what's going on there, and lots to talk about it with that one. So you want to start off?
Yeah, man, and there's actually a lot of layers to this conversation that want to touch on and kind of scratch the surface of. We'll see how deep we can get. But definitely looking at, of course, affordable housing. We'll start there. That's one of the buzzwords, and still there's planned meetings and town halls, and still a lot of confusion about exactly what affordable housing is, what it means, what it looks like. And in this instance, this is coming out of the Habitat for Humanity. Again, we talked about actually this announcement. There's a revitalization of the old Mayats. Again, the Mayat Park's Winter Green Apartments will be revitalized as a part of Habitat for Humanity's new project. If you're not familiar, that's located around 52nd Street in Sorenson, not too far from Wakanda Elementary, and actually the Wakanda, the neighborhood is called Wakanda. So again, some development in Wakanda is going on to the tune of $1.1 million, but that's just a piece of it. The whole project is actually about $25 million, and just this 1.1 will be going towards Maya Park, which will then be wrapped up into this whole housing development. Featuring a barrier-free design. It is to support families already living in the area, as well as the new 85-home Blue Stem Prairie subdivision, which is again the area that Habitat for Humanity is redeveloping. And again, that's Blue Stem Prairie. So anyone is interested, definitely check that out. Blue Stem Prairie, the housing site, had been vacant for about 16 years, following, of course, the demolition of the troubled Winter Green Apartments, affectionately known as the Mayats. A lot of mixed, I will say, experiences there. Definitely some people having some fond memories there, some people having some not so fond memories. Definitely a lot of drama, a lot of violence at points in its history. But it is interesting that there's a quote here from the executive director of Habitat for Humanity in Omaha, who is saying that they want to revitalize and honor that history. She says, people lived here, they made memories here. We see a North Omaha as a cultural oasis full of historical places and vibrant people, and we always want to honor what came before. So it is very interesting, hearing that. Of course, we always talk about displacement. We always talk about families and being moved out, and the history of the area not being honored. So I did enjoy hearing that. But I want to get y'all take on this latest piece about the finances. Again, following the money, where did the money for this come from? According to Habitat for Humanity, apparently Representative Don Bacon was behind this, securing about $1.1 million in congressional community funding for the project. Bacon said in a statement, access to affordable housing is a critical issue, and the work of Habitat for Humanity gives people hope, dignity, and stability. So again, I'm definitely interested in those of you who have lived or are familiar with the old Mayats. But again, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's a good question. Love to see some progress. First of all, just got to remember that money is coming from a totally different fund,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which is kind of what we have to mention all the time since we put so much time into talking about 531. Those, there's all kinds of other funds out there and money to work for getting for certain situations. So, um, Brooke is asking, where is that at? Um,
Again, that's 52nd and Sorensen, kind of by Wakanda Elementary School. Let's say if you're going west on Sorensen, right before you get to the 60th area, kind of before you start to pass Eagles Nest and those churches over there. It's in that area.
on which, on the south side?
On the north side of Sorensen. So if you're going up Sorensen towards like going west on Sorensen, towards 72nd, right when you get to 52nd, you can make a right. And it's kind of back in there. I actually used to live in that area. That's kind of where Turkey Gang. That's Turkey Gang territory. That's yeah, that's where Turkey Gang hangs out.
Turkey Gang is all north. Turkey Gang
Yeah.
said, look, when there was a turkey up in the tree in at the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation, first of all, I was like, I didn't know turkeys can fly and get up in the tree. And second of all, they're just gonna take over.
Yeah.
They don't care where they go. So
So now with the new development, Turkey Gang might be coming to a hood near you.
watch out for Turkey Gang. Yeah, so that's interesting. So since you have a little bit of familiarity with that area,
Mhm.
it's absolutely it's a good thing. It sounds like the way that you're talking about it. It's a good thing that that money's coming to that area to revitalize it, especially if they're talking about not displacing people.
Yeah, yeah. One is a lot of families in that area, a lot of families. For me, in traffic wise, I'm excited about that traffic wise because again, I lived in that area, and the specific block that I lived on was at the bottom of a hill. It was basically a cul-de-sac at the bottom of a hill.
Mm,
So imagine when it snowed and things got icy. It was a couple times I couldn't make it to work. Like, hey, I got to call in. I can't make it up the hill. Like, I can't get my vehicle up this hill. It's snowing up to my knees. Like, I can't get off the block.
wow.
It's a few times like that. So with that new development, they're adding another entrance to that neighborhood, so you can now hopefully get out of that neighborhood when it snows. Yeah, yeah, and that's I lived over there, so it's a pet peeve of mine. But these are kind of small things that people might not think of, as far as just traffic flow in a certain neighborhood and how those developments might impact that. So I think it'll help that. And just the Mayats, just the location. Again, if you're from North Omaha, if you grew up here, I'm sure you had a family member, if you didn't live there yourself, in the Wintergreen Apartments, which everybody called the Mayats. It was definitely a historical area. Like it was a area. I think it was um, started in the 70s. I want to say it was a development that was built in the 70s, and then private developers gave it to the city. Of course, it went into disarray and ruin, but it's good to see it being revitalized. I mean, it's right up there with the Hillside projects. It's right up there with Spencer. It's right up there with those kind of housing developments that many people who call North Omaha home grew up in.
Mm. Interesting. Kimra Snipes says, good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Appreciate it. Tamika Johnson's in the chat. Good morning. Says, also known as 52nd and Curtis.
Yep. Yep.
T. Ren is in the chat. Says, it's the home prices for me, kind of steep.
Let's look into that. Let's look
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah, let's definitely look into that. Marlon Harrison in the chat. Good morning. He said, those apartments were off the chain growing up.
A little bit. That's what I said. Some people have fond memories. Some people not so fond. It can get dangerous.
Yeah. So tell me about these the home prices there, because I think the article did talk about some of that, right?
It does not lay out a price as I could see.
Hmm.
It really kind of lays out how they got the property. It says Habitat acquired the former Wintergreen property for $1 from the city of Omaha. The bulk of the housing portion is to be covered by donors and the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund, which we'll have to do some more research on. And then also, city did approve TIF for the project to the tune of $3.4 million. So TIF financing will also be used in this, but exactly how much it will cost residents, I'm not sure. I did do some research on this project. when it first came out and when it was first announced. And to my understanding, I want to say it's around kind of the market rate, which we've been seeing about 1,900, 2,000 for like a 2-bedroom type situation. So yeah, let me look a little deeper into that, see what I can find.
Yeah. In the meantime, Malik Rogers in the chat is asking. First of all, Von Chapman says, "What did they do to alleviate the issues that plagued the last two housing developments?" Very good question. Also, Malik Rogers says, "Are these developments actually going to affordable for current residents? Going to be affordable for current residents?" Good question. We're trying to look in to see what these prices are going to be now. Miss Erica Phelps
Mhm.
says they have to include at least another exit. I truly think that the one exit contributes to the violence.
Hmm.
I remember a crazy woman who was stalking her ex who used that one exit to her benefit when fight. Oh man,
Hmm.
when fighting. Tamika Johnson says, "I know all the that Huntington Hill. We used to park on Reddick when snow was expected and walk up to our cars in the morning. Man, you had to go through a lot to get out of
Man.
that spot."
Oh, okay. You know about the block, Miss Johnson. Yeah, Huntington Ave, man. It's yeah. That hill was rough. It was rough. Yeah,
Okay.
I seen a dump truck, like a garbage truck, get stuck there.
Wow.
A few mail trucks got stuck on that hill. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I always wondered that. But I remember when I first got to Omaha when I was at driving age and wondering, with all this snow and stuff going around, why are all these hills out here? What's going
Man,
on all these hills? You know what I'm saying? Like I never got that. And of course, coming from California, I ain't used to that. So I'm slipping and sliding down every hill. And if you don't know the city, then you don't know which streets to
right.
avoid. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I
you
was
gotta
playing
have a path.
bro, I was playing bumper cars for real when I first got in town. And thought I was gonna get beat up every time something happened. Everybody's just like, it's another dent. Like,
Man, you get used to it after a while, unfortunately. Let me know if y'all see this anymore. Growing up, the city of Omaha used to place like trash, like big metal dumpsters full of sand at the bottom of hills for like residents to kind of place out themselves. I don't know. Is that still a thing? Do y'all see that anymore?
hmm, interesting.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
So just to recap on this article real quick, what the advantages, what is this $1.1 million supposed to go to exactly?
So the 1.1 again, good question, great question. So the total project is 25 million. The 1.1, which came from federal dollars, it doesn't say if it was ARPA funds or not, but I think it was ARPA funds. But that's going specifically to a park.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not actually dealing with the actual buildings that people will be living in. The $1.1 million will go to revitalize Mayat Park, which will again, be the park for the development. And it will include an amphitheater, picnic pavilions, walking and cycling trails, courts for sports, including pickleball and basketball. So
What's pickleball?
pickleball is like old folk tennis, ping
Uh,
pong in
so
life.
okay, so that 1.1 million is going to the park, and then
Yes.
the rest of the 24 million is going to the housing around it.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
and
a 19-acre site.
so the rest of that 25 million is going to the housing around it, and the theory is that they're going to revitalize the homes there, build another apartments complex or homes.
Yeah, there's nothing
Uh,
there right now. So when we say
oh,
revitalize,
okay.
yeah, they're not like taking old homes and rebuild. There's nothing there right now. It's
Okay.
just space. That's why Turkey Gang was taking over there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they're gonna be building homes over there.
Yep.
Eh,
85 homes.
85 single family homes, but
Yep.
and not apartment complexes, just actual homes.
Yep.
Okay. And they're gonna make it affordable for the people that live around these homes is what I'm understanding. And also, Don Bacon was office is the reason for this particular money.
The 1.1.
Oh, the 1.1. Okay, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
he helped with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he helped with that. The Habitat for Humanity has gotten money from like private donors. There have been matching funds. Again, I mentioned TIF is a part of this project as well. And then also keep in mind they got the land for $1. Let's keep that in mind too. Like the city of Omaha gave them the property for
Whole
$1.
lot of dollar sales going on in North O.
Right. Right.
Von Chapman says 85 homes at 290,000 a home in an area where income is at or below the poverty level. Where are you getting that 290 from?
So that's another thing. There is home ownership programs that the Habitat for Humanity had announced in tandem with this project. So I do believe that there will be programs. There will be. It's not just an issue of you have to come up with 20% of the down payment and go through the typical process. I do think that there will be home ownership assistance through Habitat for Humanity.
Homeowners assistant, as in they're going to lower the price on these homes. First of all, if the homes are 290,000 and you need assistance to get the down payment, how are you going to afford the $290,000 house? If those are the prices, we got to check and see if these are the prices that they're talking about around here. Where'd you get that, Brother Chapman? I'd like to take a look at that.
Yeah, because I'm on the website and I still haven't been able to find the prices.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. You can come up with 29 if the houses are $290,000 and you got to get some assistance to come up with the 29,000 to put down on it. I don't think that house is probably out of your price range. So I'm not sure, but I'm going off of what Brother Chapman's saying. 290,000. Let's see if we can get some information on exactly what those houses are going to end up being. Miss Erica Fell says my house is 200,000 and with taxes my mortgage is 1,600 until next year when it goes up. And we're talking about can we afford $1,600 rents in certain areas? Good question. Lavelle Wells gives us a good rising. Good morning,
Hey,
bro.
peace.
Yeah, let us know how the powwow went. I know you went. Roger says keep in mind that political partners in Nebraska have been telling us for years these are top issues, but neither have actively done anything. Not even hosting a conversation in Black Omaha. Not a whole lot of conversations at all. Hey, 85 homes plan. Rose Review says they absolutely need to put up a frisbee disc golf course in the parks. Man, what you know about that frisbee disc?
Is that a thing? Is that
Yeah, man. I think it might be a West Coast thing. We play it in California like all the time.
I actually know a couple people that play it down here, but I don't know
Really?
many people in the community that play it. But there will be a frisbee disc golf coming to Fontenelle Park.
Okay, I wouldn't even think about it out here. So I'm like, how many days can you go out and play frisbee golf?
That part.
But I guess they got golf courses all around the the city too, so people find time to go out and play actual golf. Miss Erica Fell says I hibernate in the winter before grocery delivery. My clients before grocery delivery, my clients used to bring me fresh milk and produce. I had 3 years straight that cars got totaled due to ice on the road here.
Man,
Yeah, man.
3 years straight. That's rough.
Brother Knight's in the chat. Good morning. He says,
Peace.
ain't nobody but Sudanese people getting those homes. I know some people that aren't Sudanese that have been getting into some of the new Habitat homes. But it begs what's the price? That's the question. Sean McCarthy says 20% down. Oh, I thought it was 10% down. He said 20% down payment of 290,000 is 58,000. Who has a year's salary more than a year for many saved up?
No, that's not. You must have misunderstood what I was saying. I'm not saying they're asking for 20% down. I'm saying that's not the case. That was just a number I was just throwing out.
No, I'm saying Sean McCarthy is saying 20% down payment, but because when you go buy a house, they ask for either 10 or 20%. From my but you what you were saying is that there's also programs in place to help you with stuff like these down payments, right?
Yeah, I'm saying they're not asking for that down payment. They have programs in place for that, right?
The point is, if you sign up for a program to get helped to come up with $58,000 for a down payment, then you probably can't afford the $290,000 house in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fallon Chapman says front porch investments, aka DBA the Buffetts, will probably be heavily invested. Kimmer Snipe says Senator McKinney has a housing interim committee meeting at 9:00 at MCC Fort Campus today. Okay, you got his schedule. I like that. Rose Review says disc golf is a $10 entrance fee and a lifetime of playing $10. You excited about that? I don't blame you, bro. I would love to go out and play a little frisbee golf. Kimmer Snipe says I went and talked to Habitat about a home. They called me in last week for a meeting. Okay, love to see that. Sean McCarthy says, "Oh, sorry, my apologies." So you was acknowledging that you were saying something else about it. Kimmer Snipe says, outside of my birthday being tomorrow, I took off this week so I can get some paperwork together. Okay. Drowning in some paperwork again. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Appreciate you with your notes.
Happy early birthday, by the way.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Celebration.
It's a celebration this week.
Yeah.
So anyway, lots to talk about. Definitely need to find out the prices of these homes that are going to be in this area.
Bro, I'm on like the third website and I'm not seeing any prices.
You're not going to see it. It's probably going to be market price, which is probably where brother Von Chapman is talking about. Market price in Nebraska right now, Omaha, 290,000 sounds about right. 250 somewhere around in our hood. Every time I'm looking on Zillow, it'd be 229, 229, 229. So, between 229 and 290, what's a new home cost around here? They ain't gonna do it for, you ain't gonna have no $100,000 homes anywhere, or less than that. When I first got in town, there was $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 homes. No, that's not happening.
Man, me and Mama God, we just had that conversation. Again, the house I grew up in, they purchased for $40,000.
Yeah. And like I said, man, yeah, that was back in the day. And I'm saying when I got here in 2010, I had an opportunity to get a couple $50,000 homes and just should have jumped on it because it's crazy. Kimmer is talking about paperwork for Habitat. Please, yeah, I can't wait for you to fill out that paperwork. I want to see it and know and hear about what's going on. Lost Buddy, I know what that's about. Buddy, you there? Okay, guess he'll be back. Sean McCarthy says, just in. Hello.
Yeah, something happened with the power. Something just skipped out on my power. I don't know what just happened, but I'm here.
Okay, cool. Sean McCarthy says, just in general, though, just for a regular market house without aid, I don't know of anyone who has 60 grand laying around, especially when an average rent costs around $1,200 to $1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good question.
So what I did find on this website, not still no prices, but apparently there will be Let me see.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, it's not the prices. Yeah. It just says Habitat Home or let's see. This year Habitat will help 300 families become mortgage ready and purchase a Habitat home or a house on the open market through financial support, volunteering, or adding a voice to support affordable housing.
Hey, that's great. We'll see what's happening.
I mean, so
wait a minute. We got a partner waiting in the wings here. We're gonna bring in Senator McKinney on this subject as well. Brother McKinney.
Yeah, I'm here. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right.
I'm doing good, man. Just on my way back to the crib.
I was gonna say, sound like you on the road, huh?
Yeah, drive safe.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you've been listening in. We've been talking about the area that used to be called the Mayats. This 1.1 million that's going into this area for that park, and the rest of that money is going in for what they call affordable housing, 80 units. We've been stuck trying to find some prices on what these units will be to see if they'd be affordable for our neighborhood over there. You have any insights on that?
I think they're gonna be around 220 or something in that range. There is no affordable housing in North Omaha, honestly.
Man,
especially being built.
But we're having a hearing today at Metro to discuss what is affordable housing. If anybody want to come out, it starts at 9:30.
Yeah. Miss Kimmer Snipe just told us that you're going to make that. So definitely putting the word out for people to come check out what that is and put the input in on that. So this is all going to be about what the definition of affordable housing is, right?
Yeah, just trying to get a better understanding. Like, people run around all the time talking about they doing affordable housing, and in reality, especially in North Omaha, that's impossible. Especially when you look at the median income,
right?
It's just not a thing. Then when they do build whatever is supposed to be called affordable housing, they only doing about 20 or 30% of the units of any of these apartment buildings that they're doing. So it's not really like they're building any. And then the rest is pretty much subsidized by public assistance programs and things like that. So it's really not affordable, and we're not, as kind of was mentioned prior, we're not building people up to be able to afford anything. We're just, I don't know, just putting band-aids on a problem that hasn't been solved in forever.
It seems even more nefarious than that to me, because if you put housing in an area that really couldn't afford that market price, and then you building new homes and making a market price, then it sounds like you moving in folks into a neighborhood that that wouldn't, they weren't there before. So it sounds even more than just it sounds a little bit like they like a gentrification type of situation to me.
Yeah, unless there's like a real plan to build, help people grow out of poverty. If you don't have a real intentional plan outside of building the housing, I don't know what you're doing. Like there gotta be some career development and things like that. It's not about just saying like, oh, we're gonna help people get jobs. If those jobs are only paying really, they don't pay really 20 and over. It's not really affordable. Honestly, minimum wage should probably be over $20 by now,
Yep.
but we ain't there yet.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, like I said, I've been talking to Mama God, and you can kind of see the helplessness in her face. Like she's like, I didn't have to deal with this when I was your age. I don't know how to help you navigate. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't give you tips or be a parent to you in this way because it wasn't like this when I was growing up. It wasn't like this when you were younger. You know what I mean? So it's how do you navigate? How do you get through this as far as just trying to survive? Just trying to survive.
I like what
It's hard. It's hard, and the way the housing market is, people are kind of trapped in where they at right now. Like I know people that want to move away from where they're living. They like, I'll be a fool to move because it's double what I already pay, and I don't even think this is fair.
Yeah.
So it's it's
And
crazy.
I would like to point out two things. One, it's not just the Omaha issue. This is a national issue. I have a brother in Texas right now who's in between housing, staying in extended home or extended stays because he's going through this whole 3 times your income, and he has a decent job at Tesla. Like we're talking about somebody who's working a decent job with benefits and everything at Tesla, and he's still struggling to find a job. So what does that say? Or find a house. So what does that say for somebody working at Walmart? You know what I mean? And then I also like to point out we still haven't seen all the evictions from the pandemic happen. So there's still a wave of people who are still waiting to be evicted from their house because the moratorium has been in place. So whenever that's officially lifted and the floodgates open, we're going to see this crisis get even worse.
Miss Erica Felt in the chat says, remember, a house comes with added expenses that apartment renters don't have. So affordable needs to take that into account.
Mm,
Not just the rent, but everything else that goes. You got insurance on the house. You got maintenance on the house. You got
man,
all kinds of stuff going on there. Also, Von Chavez says affordable housing is temporary and appears to last a year. After that, market rates is applied to those homes. So that's the other part. Even on the 20% that Brother McKinney's talking about, that a lot of times they'll do 20% at a sliding scale or some kind of thing they call affordable, and then that goes up on them after a
mhm.
while too. Amy H. Dot said, "That's the thing. You can't build a house for the prices of days past anymore. Need to have the income increased for folks to keep up with inflation, and that's really the solution in the bottom line. Well, one of the solutions here is that pay needs to be increased. There needs to be better jobs, more income, economic development happening within the city." In order to get people to the point where they can afford all of us can afford what we're trying to afford, but at the same time, I think that's not the only answer. The market rate needs to go down. There needs to be some definition of affordable. Lots to it. So I look forward to what they're going to be talking about here at this meeting, Brother McKinney, if you don't mind, coming back and talking about it once it's there too. And Miss Kimber Snipes, I don't know if you're going, but if you go and take some notes, we'd love to hear from you too. Maybe you can come on
Yes.
Wednesday and talk about it. She says, Miss Kimmer says, I'm not on school board anymore because of lack of affordable and quality housing. Don't forget that part. She was on the school board, had to get off the school board because she had to move out of the area because she couldn't find affordable housing in the area that she was serving. So, yeah, that's messed up too. I'm looking online right now. Average and the average medium household income sits at 65,000 per year, 65,359. So
That's on the high end.
first of all, no, that's the median income. So that's taking into consideration. You got some people that are at 30, some people that are at 90. The average annual household income in Omaha is 90,389.
Mm.
Here's the
So the
brother.
median is 60.
The median is 65,359. So
I,
first, go ahead.
I'm just wondering about that number as far as like what is the median income from North Omaha though? Because I that
And we know,
that's what I mean by on the high end. Like how
well,
many people in North Omaha are making
what I'm trying to
60?
get to is that first of all, think about whether or not you're at 65,000 a year.
Right.
Who North Omaha, any parts of Omaha, where is your income at 65 a year? Because we can start breaking down numbers from that 65. We can start breaking down what that means if your rent's supposed to be what, a third or a third of your income. What is well, first of all, what does 65 359 mean for what's the third of that? You know what I'm
Gotta do
saying?
some maths.
Yeah. And like I said, the first question is where is your yearly income at? Mine's not anywhere near 60. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not at 65,000 a year. There's
Right.
brother McKinney right coming in right here. All right, now we can see you. Good morning. How you doing?
Peace.
Good, good.
So I just did the math. You said 69,000 is the median?
65,000.
65,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so 65,000 divided by 3, a third of that is 21,000.
Is that for the state?
No, that's we're doing so
I just did a quick Google search and says average median household income sits at 65,359 per year in Omaha. We're not
yes.
we couldn't find no numbers on North Omaha, but
North Omaha is probably 30 or under.
okay.
Okay.
So let's just go for 30. Let's just say 30 because that sounds I know I think that's pretty average for everybody out in my circle. About 30, between 30 and 50, I guess, but let's say 30.
Okay, 30,000 a year. So you're paying about 10,000 a year towards your rent, and that breaks down to about $833 a month.
Okay,
Where
so
can you find housing for under 1,000?
very very good question. T Ren says North Oak can't be more than 45,000 a year.
Right.
It's not even
And
close to that.
yeah. So yeah, like I said, I mean, this is the kind of stuff I hope they're gonna go through. Talking about first of all, you got to get those numbers. I'm glad Brother McKinney has been looking at those numbers most definitely. To see what's going on. This Google search for Omaha says the average annual income in Omaha is $90,000. Median household income is 65. We're saying North Omaha is probably north of 30,000.
Yeah.
So again, when you think about it like that, but then what doesn't fluctuate is market rate. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't fluctuate by area. So when they build these new houses, I can imagine. I think there's some things in place where they got to say a certain amount of those houses got to be what they deem affordable. So it's like I think the sliding scale situation is it depends on your income. They can only do that for a certain amount because the rest of them they gotta sell or rent at market rate so that they can quote unquote help subsidize those other ones that you're on the sliding scale on.
So in 2019, when the state did a district at a glance, the median income for District 11, which is North Omaha, was $26,864.
Mm.
So I don't know if we want to argue it might have increased or it didn't increase because of the pandemic and other things. So I don't know. I know it's around between that range and 30 though. So
The 26. So those are actual numbers. 26,000 was median income for North Omaha. And how long ago did you say that was?
that was in 2019, and then they did
Mm.
yeah. So
And yeah, it probably got worse because of the pandemic. Brother McKinney put the link in the chat there for that particular study. Um, Wanda Luce gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us over there on Facebook. Also, Von Chapman says TIF is applied to improve infrastructure everywhere, but in North Omaha, why is TIF only applied in unaffordable housing and not for infrastructure and independent economic growth like downtown?
Mm.
This one that we talked about over here, the
TIF
Maya,
is
was going to use
TIF
some
is
TIF.
applied to things in North Omaha that's not affordable housing. They just don't highlight them. But there's TIF supposed economic development projects in North Omaha.
Okay.
I
Well,
know a construction company. I think it's Davis. They're doing something off of 20th, and I think they're using TIF over there
Mm.
for 20th and Ames. It's a black guy, it's black people using TIF. It's not highlighted like it should be, but it
Yeah.
happens every now and
We
then.
we just read in this article they're gonna use TIF for this particular project too, right?
Yep.
But that's for the park, the $1.1 million for the park though.
No, they're using TIF for the development, the housing development.
The
Three
whole
point
development.
four, $3.4 million from city officials.
Okay. In the chat, real quick, Miss Erica Fell says, I researched the taxes before I bought my home to ensure I could afford the monthly payment. Shake my head as it's going up on her. T.
Mm-hmm.
Ren says, that's how they get a mixed income family situation. Probably only a few will be subsidized.
Yep. Only a certain percentage. I mean, that's kind of the case at the Highlander.
Yeah. So that's where I learned a little bit about that sliding scale.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do that off of your income, but that's only a few 10 or 15% of those are on that. Or actually, I think it was 20% are on that sliding scale,
Yeah.
and everything else is market price.
Yeah. I would like to also point out one last thing with this specific development, and I'm sure this is going to be the case with other developments in the future. But after Habitat builds this, and this especially this park is developed, the city of Omaha will actually be taking over the maintenance of some of this stuff. And again, we're talking about wintergreen apartments. Like, this stuff has already been in a disarray. The city of Omaha has already neglected these areas. I'm kind of curious to see how that will work out in the future. If there will, if there's a plan once these developments are created, and even other parks around the community. We just heard about several other parks that got millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars from the city. Again, what maintenance will we see moving forward?
Also, we had a question about where this money was coming from. It might come from ARPA. Brother McKinney, do you have? I'm sorry, Senator McKinney, do you have a insight on where that money
Yeah,
comes from?
because it just says federal grant. It doesn't say.
No, I'm not sure. I know they could earmark stuff in the Fed, so he probably was able to pull some money off from one of those big bills that they got. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. Uh, Go ahead, bro.
No,
Uh,
I didn't have nothing to say. I mean,
oh,
I think developing around the Mayats is good. I mean, as a kid, I had family that stayed there, and I spent a lot of time up in there. So I got some memories, and I got memories of playing at the park up there too. So I think it's always a good thing to develop. I just always my biggest thing is always making sure that people from North Omaha are able to take advantage of stuff like this. And I mean
Right,
people that grew up in North Omaha. It's not
right.
to say don't be open to other people coming in and things like that, because our community is always going to grow. But at the core of it, it should be people from North Omaha.
Man, and I am kind of curious, kind of moving forward beyond this project. Again, you mentioned you will be having the event later on, or actually this morning, here in a bit, about affordable housing. First of all, who else is going to be there? Who else is invited? Who else are you expecting to show up?
So it's the Urban Affairs Committee. So I think
Okay,
everyone's going to be there. I think so. Maybe not. Maybe so. I know different people from different housing organizations and some community people plan to come and speak about what do they feel is affordable housing. Because in January, I want to introduce a bill trying to get as close to what it is as possible. I don't know
mm,
if it'll pass, but I do want to get something on the table so we can have a real discussion in the legislature about it. Because I'm tired of people always saying we're doing affordable housing in North Omaha, and it's a lie.
man. So to that point, like, what is the solution? We're here to talk about solutions. To from what
I
I'm
think that
hearing,
I
go ahead.
think the solution, part of the solution, is actually defining what it is. It's too fluid. Everybody has their own definition, and I think until we hold people accountable to what that definition is, you'll get this mixed bag of affordable housing throughout the community.
So the whole 30%
Yeah,
definition.
30%. Yeah, it should be around that range. It probably should be probably 33% or 30% of your income. But you also got to factor in, okay, yeah, my rent is only 30% of my income, but where am I living? Like, am I renting from a slumlord, or am I renting from somebody that actually care about the space?
Because if you're renting from a slumlord, you paying higher utility costs and things like that. It's so many other factors you gotta think about. It's not just the 30%, and then you also got to factor in these people build these developments, but every year the rent goes up $20+ every year. And
Mm-hmm.
if my income doesn't change, eventually I'm going to be at a space where I'm over that 30% threshold if my income is not changing. And the way the job market is, and I know they like to say we got low unemployment, but that's just BS in a lot of ways because people ain't making a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, they might. That's the thing. The numbers are lying. They might have jobs, but they ain't getting paid nothing.
Paul Film is asking, is that event going to be streaming? Do you know if that's going to be streaming? They can watch it somewhere.
No, I don't think we got that capability up at Metro. We was in Lincoln maybe, but not at
In Metro,
Mm.
that's surprising.
Okay.
because
Also,
you need NET to do it, and it's a whole complicated process. That yeah.
maybe they need First Sky to do it. We'll see.
Hey.
Cameron Edwards in the chat says, so the city is gentrifying Maya Park and the project's calling it affordable housing again. Those places were affordable housing based also. Those places were
That is a good point as far as the projects like that. Yeah, that was supposed to be subsidized housing to begin with. So how
Von
did it
Chap
get to the point?
Von Chapman is asking a good question too. After all is said and done, who will actually benefit from this project in the long run? And that's kind of the question. Lavelle Wells is shouting out. He
I
said,
mean,
lost two homies there. Sorry to
I
hear
would
that.
say the Maya thing, or if enough people in North Omaha can take advantage of home ownership, I think North Omaha could benefit. But we gotta hold them accountable to make sure that people in North Omaha could benefit from home ownership. Because the more homeowners we got, the better off I think we are. So that's because I'm not. I know we need mixed housing, we need apartments and all that type of stuff. I just think we don't. They ran an interstate through North Omaha, so it took away a lot of black home ownership. We don't have a lot, and we got people already selling off grandma's house. We need more people in the community to be homeowners and things like that. So hopefully, people in North Omaha that can become homeowners through the process. I mean, none of this is perfect, and we always got to be skeptical of all these type of projects because we know historically we've gotten a short end of the stick. I mean, that's just a case of it. But I think we can't. One thing we got to do is we can't be skeptical and not try to take advantage of the opportunity. Because when we don't try to take advantage of the opportunity, that's when you get people who we would deem as not from North Omaha taking advantage of the opportunity. Be skeptical, yes, that's fair. That's 1,000% fair. But if we're not signing up to take advantage of the opportunity, then it's not going to be us taking advantage of it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's really real. We got brother Qasim and brother Sherman Wells coming on here in a few minutes, and so I wanted to shift gears real quick past this subject, and just first of all ask you, what is it that's top of mind for you right now that you're working on that we can support?
Uh, Me, I mean, we got this hearing today with the Urban Affairs Committee. I think we got some hearings tomorrow in Lincoln. On Thursday, we actually got a meeting with the DED in Lincoln. Gonna ask them some
Finally got a
questions.
meeting with them. Okay.
Yeah, we kind of had to force the committee meeting and get them to come in front of us. But my biggest thing with them is it's not. I mean, I could probably spend multiple days to just telling them how bad I don't like the program or how they running it. I want to get to like, okay, y'all set up this program. What is y'all plan, and how can it be improved, and how can we help y'all better facilitate this process
Mm-hmm.
for the community? That's all I care about because
Man.
I'm not about to keep arguing back and forth about them doing this wrong and this right and this wrong and this right. Where's the we need a solution.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a disconnect somewhere. Let's get to the bottom of it and let's figure it out because that's what has to happen. And it's not all doom and gloom. I think I was talking to somebody and it's like, oh, so it's just all bad. I'm like, it's not all bad, but it's parts of it that aren't good as well. I'm not gonna trash the whole program, but then
Mm-hmm.
that makes it seem like it's just wrong completely, and it's not. It's just some things I don't agree with.
It's not
Uh,
perfect.
yeah, and nothing is ever perfect. And we're
Right.
still in the beginning stages of the process where things can be improved. We're not so far along that we can't correct what isn't right, and that's why we want to talk to them.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys got that, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you because I got come to know you well enough to know that's kind of your style. We don't need to spend a whole bunch of time, going down the list of everything that we don't like on something. Let's just get to the point. Let's just get to what needs to be fixed, what the solution is. I've seen you do that several times
Mm-hmm.
over the course of some years now, and I really appreciate that style, bro. I mean, like that's really what it comes down to because I see a lot of everybody else doing a lot of bickering, going back and forth. Whose fault was it? How did it start? Was everything? But let's like skip all past all that right now and just kind of get to some answers. And so I am confident in the way that you're approaching this with them on Thursday that the meeting will go well. I think that that's how you deal with people and people respond a little bit better when we can get to that point in the conversation. So I'm anxious to see what's going on there with that for sure. Um, so that's kind of what's on top of your mind right now. A meeting about housing, a meeting with the DED. I'm going into just got about 4 more minutes here. I just want to jump into another thing real quick. I'm about to go meet with some people at Metro at the reentry program, and this is finally first Sky Omaha going in with some cameras and talking to some folks that were in the reentry program at MCC, and some of them that are still in jail. I had to do all the background checks and everything so I can get in there with the camera, and then some that are already out in programs and so on and so forth. So we're finally getting to that point where we'll be able to talk to some people firsthand on some of these things. Where are we at on your efforts with prison reform? I know that you were leading the way. You and Brother Wayne lead the way on prison reform. Uh,
Uh, we're kind of well, we have a sentencing task force that is supposed to meet soon to talk about how we're gonna go forward. If you ask me, do I got faith in these people? I don't. But I'm still gonna go. We still gonna try to fight. Always gonna fight. Right now, the ombudsman and the inspector general are not allowed inside the prisons, so it's a lot of just hostility and a lot of questions and concerns not being answered, not having oversight inside the prisons. It's a big issue. Every day we're sitting on a powder keg, like anything can pop off any day. Like
Mm.
just be honest. LB 50 went into effect, but then the Department of Corrections and Parole Board asked for an AG's opinion on the bill, and he said part of it was unconstitutional. So a
Mm.
lot of people inside are upset. So that's the issue. So we got to figure that out.
What was LB 50? Just for a little context.
It was the criminal justice reform package that we was able to get
Right.
passed.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Mm.
we still got to figure that out too. It's it goes back to society, honestly. To be real, like we hear all the time about people saying like, "Oh, our prisons overcrowded. We need some change. We need that." But the same way, and I say it all the time, if we not knocking down the doors in the state capitol and these people's offices, we ain't gonna get no criminal justice reform.
Mm-hmm.
The same way people came down for money is the same way people need to come down for criminal justice reform. And that's just being honest, because it's not going to happen without that, because these people do not care. They look at these people as criminals, lock them up, throw them away. We could just build buildings and house them. We don't need to let them out. We don't want them in our community. That is how they feel, and that's what they say in these rooms. They
Mm.
don't care. They don't care about us,
wow.
especially
Yeah.
because these people are from our community. So if our community isn't showing up, where's the voice? Because they probably tired of me telling them that they're wrong. Like I have no problem calling them out and checking them, but I need more than just my voice. And the sad reality is, after next year, I'll be probably the only black man in Lincoln.
Mm.
That's
So
crazy.
that's one voice. So we need the whole community to be in support of these type of changes. It can't just be lining up for money and complaining all the time for money. the whole 2 year conversation has just been about money when we got the most overcrowded prisons in the country. We got the worst conditions in the country. We don't really got no criminal changes ever. We did a whole protest around George Floyd's death. We got no changes on the city level or the state level that are really doing anything of much. Like, what was it
Mm-hmm.
all for? So that's what frustrates me. It's like, where's the energy
Mm.
for everything? Be consistent. Yes, we need money. Yes, we need economic development. Yes, we need that. Because no, I don't trust these people either. But I'm not gonna stop fighting and trying to make that type of change. And I'm gonna still be optimistic because I'm not a hopeless person. And we can't be hopeless because the day we become hopeless is the day they win. We can't let them win, but we gotta show up.
Man.
So that's what I would say to everybody. Like, everybody keep asking where's legalized marijuana. We in Nebraska. You got to show up for that too. You got to sign a petition. You got to come to Lincoln and speak on those bills and talk about how it's important, and not just the economic side. You got to talk about the the equity side of legalizing marijuana. How
Mm-hmm.
people are the most disproportionately affected because of marijuana laws. We got a whole marijuana step tax in Nebraska that if you get caught with some weed, you get, it's like a fine pretty much if you don't get this marijuana tax stamp. But it's not legal in our state. So why would I go get, it's like if you go to Colorado, you cross the state border and you don't get a marijuana tax stamp, you get you get penalized for it. But marijuana is illegal in Nebraska, so why would you go get the tax stamp? You just
Mm.
setting yourself up for failure. It it's just crazy. So I
Hmm.
like it's a. I think sometimes, yeah, like we in Nebraska, man. Like, it's a racist state, bro, and it's gonna take more than social media outrage and all that, man. Like, I know who these people are. We all know who these people is. We gotta we gotta stay on the ground and keep grinding, man. Like, it's never gonna be easy. It's never
Mm-hmm.
gonna change overnight, man.
Takes real work.
I hear that, man. In the chat, real quick, Paul Philman says, "Can you propose legislation to extend term limits to keep you and Senator Wayne around longer?"
There's already a bill to do that. I think Senator Dover did it, but Senator Wayne would be term limited, and I'll probably be term limited too, if that even goes into effect.
It'll take that long if it even works. Yeah. Speaking of which, man, you just reminded me of something when you said that you might be the only black person in there next year. Another person of color, only black person on state board, Jacqueline Morrison. I'm
Yep,
not familiar with her. She just decided that she's not running for an additional term.
it's hard being a black politician, honestly,
Mm.
because you get hate from all sides. Your people, they people, everybody. So it's hard, and then top of that, you don't get the support.
So you just
That,
out there fighting a fight by yourself.
that just
Because
made
you
me mad.
because you on these boards and in the legislature with people who don't got the same problems. They don't got to wake up and try to solve 50. They don't have to solve economic development problems, criminal justice problems, all these other problems. They could just come down there and say, I just want to change property taxes. That's their only issue. We got, and our issues are massive issues that we got to try to tackle. And they so complex that it's, you you could tackle them, but it's, you kind of just throwing darts in the air, and you might hit every once in a while.
Man. Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. That makes me that struck a nerve when you said, especially when you said, our people. You know what I'm saying? We don't get support from our people. Like, we know that if you're a politician, a black politician in Nebraska, you got to fight because you're in Nebraska. But it's unfortunate to hear that you even our people ain't supporting. That's just, I
Man,
mean, we say this all the time. Why are all these black leaders stepping down, leaving, and so on? And I mean, really, it's because the bottom line is because they're not getting support from us. That's really the bottom line. It's already they knew they'd stepped into that job knowing they're gonna get pressure from the rest of the state. But when you get up in there and then you don't get support from your own people, then,
It's
then how do you continue?
it's worse than no support though. It's worse than no support. They
And
get attacked and undercut.
and I expect to be held accountable, but hold the same standard for everybody. It's a double standard, and that's just that's white people towards us and our people towards us. There's a double standard. I'm not against accountability. Like if I mess up, if I do something wrong, hold me accountable, but don't have a double standard and be consistent. And I could be honest and keep it real. Over the last year and a half, people have not been consistent across the board at every level of government. But when it comes to the level of government in which I'm in, it's been a complete double standard, and that's just the honest truth.
Sorry to hear that, man. We really again appreciate all your efforts and you sticking in there and being as strong minded as you are to be able to do that. And hopefully, we can keep on building more back for y'all that are in there trying to make it happen.
No, it's
Uh,
cool, and you know, I've been thinking a lot lately, and I was like, you signed up for this. Yeah, it's hard sometimes, but giving up to me means I let whatever whoever they are win,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just not me. I don't quit, so we'll figure it out and have some fun with it. It is what it is. It's a part of the game. It's part of life.
Man,
yeah,
facts.
Miss Easter, that meeting is today at 9:30. Where's that meeting at? The housing meeting today?
It's at Metro. I think it is in the Culinary Arts Building.
Culinary Arts Building in Metro. So 9:30 this morning, Miss Easter, if you wanted to show up for that. She said, that's right. We need more people to speak on important issues. I will stand up for prison reform. That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Any final words before you get out of here, man? Anything, any direction for us?
Uh, I would say one thing is just keep fighting, keep building. If you haven't, today is the last day to turn in your application for the turnback tax grant. So make sure y'all get that in. If you're applying for economic recovery dollars, make sure you dotting your T's and crossing crossing your T's and dotting your I's. I mean, if you're in that coordination plan or appendices, there's no reason that you shouldn't reapply.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drop the ball and not reapply, because there's some greedy people in this world that's hoping North Omaha doesn't step up and reapply.
They already got their pet projects ready.
Oh yeah, the lake's planned out.
They already turned on the hose for the lake.
Man, started digging the ditch.
Appreciate you coming on through, man. We'll definitely catch up with you hear about how this meeting went when you come back through next week.
I was trying to get the exact address.
Somebody said Building 23 in there. Who was it?
It's Kimber Snipe.
Kimber Snipe said Building 23 over there at Metro, and you said it was not. Somebody said it was 9 o'clock, but you said it was 9:30.
Yeah, I think it started at 9:30.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yep. And then Wanda Lewis is reminding us they also want to build more prisons and youth detention facilities.
Building
Man.
22.
Which one?
Building 22, the Institute for Culinary Arts.
All right, Building 22. So Culinary Arts Building, and it's going to start at 9:30 for those that can get down there. Get
And they
down
are
there.
building more prisons. It's not a if. They're building downtown and outside of Lincoln and probably anywhere else they want to.
Yep. There you go.
All right,
Okay.
y'all.
Well, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
No problem. Peace.
Peace.
Oh man,
That's
let's
rough.
take a quick break. Man. Yeah, let's take a quick break. It's First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners, stay tuned. We'll be right back. We still got more special guests to come. Brother Qasim Shabazz and Brother Sherman Wells coming on in to talk about some things too. So stay tuned for that. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha Radio.
wrong. Time to get my hustle on. Hustle till the break of dawn. Do whatever makes me strong. Worry about the right and wrong. Living in the HIC. Brothers all surrounding me. Ain't no futures here. Just lives full of pain and fear. Time for a different stroke. I'm tired always being broke. Me and just about all my folks. Tired of being without hope. So it's time to get my hustle on. Hustle till the break of dawn. Do whatever makes me strong. Worry about the right and wrong.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You're listening to First
Hey,
Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the DS.
Paul B, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you, Chat Chimers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners, dug deep back into the archives for that one. That's some early, that's some late mid '90s funk from your boy.
That was you?
That's me.
Man,
Yep.
man,
Long time ago,
man.
long time ago. We're gonna put together some kind of set list and stuff like that for what do they call them, playlists and stuff like that for Spotify for y'all. But that's us grabbing all the stuff that we got, man. Coming back with, you know what I'm saying. What we got to do is come on back with the funk. Come on back with our
Man,
creations.
gotta bring it. That woman said she need that. She need that track.
Hey,
Pop saying love that joint.
thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
archives, man. I was like, man, I ain't play Hustle yet. Let me dig that
Come
one out.
on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, so I can say the same for you, Buddi3 Da Gawd. Come on, let's come on with it. That's what we got to do for real.
All right. Got some stuff to say.
Wanda Lewis says North Omaha needs to stand up. United we stand. Thank you. Yeah, man. After this season, boots to the roots. Like it's how many weeks we gonna have the brothers on saying the same things? Get down there, sign them petitions. You want to change ain't gonna happen unless we all are down there pushing.
Man,
There's-
getting busy.
getting busy. Vaughn Chapman says they know if they don't address poverty, it would be inevitable that more crime would mean building more prisons. White folks and internet are intentional about their racism.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, I know I told you guys about this when it happened, but I got came to some people from TV1 came to speak to me, and their whole thing was they were putting a show together about the situation that happened here in Omaha with Nico Jenkins, and that's out now on TV1, Sins of the City episode that's focusing on Omaha, Nebraska, and what's going on there. And right there in the promo, they say, the conditions that made Nico Jenkins is just as much to blame as him for the sins of the city, for the crimes that's going on. And that was one of the reasons why a few of us out here talked to him, because the story was that they were going to feature, the system and how the system allowed for certain things to happen, and how they use that now. They use it now. When I think about prison reform out here, I think about them being scared of the one, like the senators talk about all the time. The senators are saying that what happens is they're scared of the one they let out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to release. They're not going to alleviate any of these overcrowded prisons, because if they let one out, then a whole Nico Jenkins thing could happen again. You know what I'm saying? And they're scared of that, and they hang on to that kind of stuff. So it's interesting that. So it's interesting.
It's just.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. It's just mind-boggling, like how they perceive and view issues. Like, there's, like you said, they're so afraid of the quote-unquote one that they're gonna basically just throw people in prison. But I'm pretty sure Nico was a part of the foster system. Like, there's no effort being put in to correct, to fix, like the things that will actually contribute to more of the ones being created. They're not addressing at all. Poverty, family, foster care, education, jobs. None of the actual solutions are being addressed, but they're so afraid of the one.
Not to mention, let's not even go jump into the mental health care in
Come on, man.
in this, and how many systems failed him. How many systems failed him from the time he was a kid? Right, Wanda Lewis said mental health, economics,
Because as of
All-
right now, you need a case to get some help.
Shh.
Got to already be on the path to get some help.
So anyway, you guys check that out if you get a chance. I don't know who has TV One, but if you got TV One, definitely check it out. And by the way, TV One is Kathy Hughes, Omaha's own Kathy Hughes, one of the biggest black channels and black media conglomerates in the world, and it's called TV One. This is a show on TV One called Sins of the City, and definitely check it out because they're talking about Omaha. I haven't seen it yet myself, so I don't even know how much I'm in it, if I'm in it at all. So we'll see.
Make the cut. Just make the cut.
I don't know if I made the cut. I might be on the cutting room floor. You never know. But yeah, check it out. Sins of the City, stories behind crimes that rocked America's cities. Omaha is featured right now. Check it out. Let us know. Wanda Lewis says Adam Fletcher Sass. Was he on it? Von Chavez says Nico Jenkins is not an anomaly. The system created him. That's
Right.
that's the part. That part. And again, to this day, using that. To this day, I still hear people using that. Apologists, like I said, fear of the one situations. We got the most overcrowded prisons in America, and they're not going to alleviate them at all because what if you let the wrong person out, the wrong one out? Paul Philman says 2 prison residents discharging soon directly from solitary confinement. How long were they in there? How long were they in there? Pop says Apple TV or Philo can has a TV One.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
definitely check it out.
Man, that's exactly what I was thinking about as far as what Paul Philman is talking about. That's something that Senator Wayne, put some respect on his name, has talked about as far as jamming out. Ooh.
Right.
Over 5 years of solitary confinement, and then you're just being released directly from that to general population civilian life.
Bro. Again, reentry programs are so important, especially after you find out. And here's the thing, too, man. People, I was just listening to something on NPR this morning that was talking about this. You don't know what's going on in the prisons. There's reports of people dying in the prison all the time. We don't never get the full story. They get real closed mouth when you talk about going in there. And if you're in prison and you happen to be filming and talking to people, they ain't gonna be able to tell you everything that's going on, all the stuff that's happening to them, because they got to deal with that abuse every day and deal with that kind of stuff. So can we even get the whole story? First of all, can we even get the whole story?
No, not just the media, but also government. You just heard ombudsman and inspector generals they're not even allowed. They're not allowed in the prison. Like, that is, what are y'all hiding?
That woman says Jenkins is proof that there are no services for the incarcerated, and then they are released with no rehabilitation or services.
Yep.
Kimmer Snipes says, and he warned them, didn't he? I mean, he told them what was gonna happen.
Who, Nico?
Yeah. Von Chavez says, don't forget about Ed Poindexter and Ernest Jackson.
Yep.
Can't forget about them. For those of you who don't know who those names are, two men that are pretty much proven innocent, still in jail and won't be released, won't be let out. Fear of the one. Won't even let Ed Poindexter, who's in his 80s.
Or Ernest Jackson, who didn't commit a crime. Like, again, Ernest Jackson is serving time for a crime that didn't happen. It wasn't a crime.
And how many more in there are going through that? How many more need to be out just because of the abuses, like 5 years of solitary confinement? That woman says the incarcerated can't tell even family on the phone or by letter because they face physical repercussions. Paul Philman says Inspector General being cut off is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Wanda Lewis calls them political prisoners. So, man, tough deal in a real way. Again, lots to the bottom line, Boost to the Roots, season 6. We got to put Boost to the Roots. There's going to be no. We got a representative in here today telling us nobody shows up for that. Nobody shows up for prison reform. Not even those of us that are out here that have been affected by prisons. Not even those of us that are out here that got family members that are in prison right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is going out to try to fight and tell and change minds of politicians or change minds of I think that's what it is too. How do you approach saying that you're going to go out here and help change the minds of some of these people in power in a red state like this? Like how you even get up the gumption to do that? If I'm going to go do it, I'm already in fight mode to go do it. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So but we always know it ain't that kind of fighting is not always productive. So like
right. Is that
how do
the
you
is
how do
that
you
the
get your
mentality?
how you get your mind wrapped around changing minds?
I think Senator Wayne did a pretty good job at breaking it down. Like, how do politic, if you will? How do you engage in diplomacy? How do you kind of get those things done? And it really is understanding one who you're talking to, and how to appeal to them. What do they care about? How can you make a connection with that? How can you really address each other on a human level?
Yeah. But still, I gotta acknowledge how difficult it is when their side of the argument is not a human argument.
Right. When they're not already respecting your humanity from the start.
Paul Philman says need town hall to organize support community for senator's agenda. Yeah, that's definitely a boost to the roost thing. We can
Mhm.
make the call here and maybe do something about putting something together. Brother Knight said there are so many mentally ill black men and women on the street. I just got a call from one of my family members that said that. Said that if something weird was going on. It was like a bunch of drug people walking around the streets in the
Hmm.
hood. Well, I don't know what more than in a normally amount. Like she thought maybe somebody busted a drug house and put everybody out on the street, or I was thinking somebody closed the homeless shelter all of a sudden and people just walking around.
Hmm.
So and then we all can talk about the reasons why things happen where the lack of mental health resources and stuff out here is what I'm trying to get to. We know that for a fact, and so you generally gonna have much more people in trouble that are just out and about than you normally would because of the lack of resources there. Ms. Erica Fell says, I think that most who have personal experiences with prison systems are at work during those meetings. We can't close businesses or risk our employment to attend these meetings. Good point. Von Chapman says, is all of Nebraska a plantation prison for the undeserved? Mm. When in a state that you feel like is a kind of a police state that is focusing on prisons, it doesn't definitely feels that way.
Mm.
Brother Knight says, I firmly believe the state uses these people to commit crimes against targeted people. Now we get into some deep there. Wanda Lewis says they want us to fight one another.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Divide and conquer.
Von Chapman says they are absolutely right. Nebraska is not for everyone. Cameron Snipe says, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you sit at Scooters, he will see all of that all day long. Yeah, the headquarters, man. Whenever I go to the headquarters, I do see that. I see, you can tell that there's something going on with people mentally, and they're walking around. It also has to do with that. I believe it has to do with that smoke shop that's in that complex there. It draws a whole bunch of certain crowds, but not just because of the smoke shop, just because people are, especially this time of year when the weather's decent. You just see more homeless people, meet more people with issues and problems mentally walking around and being at places that they feel they can feel safe. And I've seen it myself. I've been at the headquarters, somebody laying out on the ground there trying to take a nap. And I've seen Brother Young, who owns scooters, go out and ask them if they're okay. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything we can do? You can't really sleep here. Can we help you get somewhere? Just trying to be human to
Mm-hmm.
people. And so that unfortunately I think that draws a lot of people, a lot of those people over there because they know they're going to at least be treated like a human.
Mm.
I've bought coffee for cats sitting out there myself. You know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
hey, let me get you some caffeine, bro. Here you go. Keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Yeah, thanks, man. Get on their feet and get to shuffling off somewhere else. So, we see it a lot, and it's out here, and if our community doesn't do anything about it, then the why where do people in the rest of the community think those people are supposed to go? Hence the prisons.
Yeah.
They ain't building hotels for these people with these problems. They building prisons for them.
Man, And I've actually heard, of people of the homeless or houseless people, however you want to, state it, preferring to go to jail because they get 3 hots in a cot. They get shelter. They get some things that they probably wouldn't get out on the street. Which I'm not sure where to place that in the conversation, but it was definitely something that when I learned about it, it was just like, man, I didn't think about that.
Man, even if the prison was like regulated from an outside source, transparent, teachers treating people like they do in other countries, it wouldn't even be bad. It wouldn't even be half bad. But like the fact that there's no transparency, the fact that they're getting treated any kind of way, being in solitary confinement for 5 years, stacked up on each other, all the stuff that's going on, they could just treat people like humans. We wouldn't even be tripping about the prisons as hard. Just for the reason you just said. Sometimes people are in trouble, man, and then, I'm sure during the winter the population goes way up. I know if I'm outside, I know if I'm in trouble and I'm walking around and I got some problems and I'm homeless and I got no place to go and it starts snowing and it starts getting cold. I might have to go in and slap somebody so they can go ahead and take me off the 3 cots and three. What do you say? Three
Three
cots?
hots in a cot.
Hey, man.
But let's really talk about it. To what extent is the state really obligated to honor the rights of incarcerated peoples, especially when they're slaves?
Man,
if you're a slave legally, to what extent are your rights really supposed to be honored?
13th, you're a legal slave.
You're a slave. Do you not expect to get slave treatment? So there's different, like there's many layers to this that all need to be addressed, and we don't have the time on this show.
It's this thing that Brother McKinney, that Senator McKinney's always talking about, which is that they looking at people like humans.
Because they're not legally, they're not. They're slaves.
Even families that need to be there supporting, even the people in our community that needs to be there supporting, the politicians, the people that are representing. There's not a lot of. It takes a brother like Brother McKinney who has a personal connection to people that have been incarcerated, that have people in his family that's passed away inside the jail, to even bring it up like it's a thing. Like, the general attitude is you're a criminal and you ought to be locked away. And you know how easy it is for people to say stuff like lock them away and throw away the key. Like this is as common as any other phrase out here.
Come on, man.
Kimber Snipe says, I'm reading the book called a book Evicted right now. I'm reading the book Evicted right now, and it speaks to some of that. Wanda Lewis says, self-profit. We should be one.
Oh, yeah.
Wanda Lewis says, I'm always handing out a bag of chips.
Okay.
We got to do something. Brother Knight says, a lot of people with schizophrenia.
I have a few family members dealing with that.
So, as do I. Kimber Snipe says, the city has a homelessness task force. I talked with her, and she said she admits that there has not been much progress, and they are restructuring right now. Wow.
Okay. Maybe we should bring her on. Yeah, who is that?
Yeah. Miss Eric Fell says, I know a woman back in the day in Los Angeles who purposely got arrested to go to civil branch jail every holiday season. She would get too depressed during that time, so jail kept her alive.
Seasonal depression. It's a real thing.
Going to other countries, there's places they call sanatoriums, and sanatoriums are almost like resorts there's in Russia there's places called sanatoriums, and people are required to go 6 to 8 weeks a year to these places, and it's just a place where you get taken care of for get your mental health together and so forth, almost like a resort. And these are state run, and people are required to go to them. And I think about all the lack of things like that we have in our country. What do we have that look at this the situation this woman talking about? She goes to jail for this for just because she's depressed the holiday season. Whatever her circumstances are got her to where she needs to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't out here building hotels for people. They're not out here building sanatoriums. They're not out here building mental health facilities that aren't beds in jails.
No.
Von Chapman says philanthropists will find a way to fund and get a tax break from the misery of people of color via the new proposed mental health facilities. You're talking about mental health facilities. There you go. What have we been hearing about those? How many of those are they building? How many of those are they adding to? We talk about jails all the time. What we've only talked about mental health facilities a couple times. One of them was a mental health facility for kids, and we talk about the fact that you know there's drugs and things involved when you're in that kind of situation. These are more, we think about them as more beds.
Yep.
Stuart Brother Knight says, I've seen some funny style stuff this past year.
Facts.
Miss Erica Fell says, "Oh, Sybil Brandt wasn't a resort. That was a women's L.A. County jail." Yeah, I know. We that's what we're saying. This poor woman is, you know, her story, whatever was going on in her life and her story. She goes every year, decides to put herself in jail. She said it has been tore down. Deputies used to bet on fights they set up, but she felt she wouldn't unalive herself there. Mental health issues, bro, to the point. And how many people are doing that? How many people are resorting to saying, well, let me just go to jail so I can stay alive right now? Von Chapman says crime pays and is profitable for a state with federal funding helps maintain their racism. Appreciate you guys with your comments here. It's 8:45 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, it doesn't look like we're going to get our special guests coming in today, but they will be in. If not today, then it will be next week. They do have a event coming up that they want to definitely talk about. Again, we're talking about the brothers from Untamed and the BAA, Boots to the Roots. Brother Qasim, Brother Sherman Wells are really the ones that are talking to kids on the ground level, trying to help situations. Remember that the gang prevention event is coming up. Where is that? My bad, y'all. I shuffled around the cards here, and now I can't find my deal. Oh, here it is. Oh, nope, that's not it.
And you stated that they pushed it back, right?
I believe so, yeah, but I don't have confirmation on that yet.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah, so we'll
Talk
come
to
back to that. Yeah, we'll definitely come back to that. Well, I'll find out what's going on there. While I'm sitting here looking at the flyers, though, definitely want to talk about Brother Blake. He's
Yes.
still missing. He was been last seen on August 17th near 33rd and Lake. Buddy, you said there was some news. There was some news happening around this that you wanted to talk to the Brother Wells about, right?
Yeah. There's a video on Brother Sherman Wells's page over the weekend. He met up with some of the children of Levi Blake, who has been having some issues getting more information and disseminating information. Apparently, they've been working with early on. They were working with news outlets trying to get the information out there, and it seems like the news outlets haven't really been responding to the family. They tried to get the news to rerun the story to kind of update it, and they were not able to get a response. The news kind of refused to rerun the story, although there has been apparently other missing individuals in the community that don't exactly look like Brother Blake, and they've been getting all kind of news coverage, which is interesting. Also, the deputies who are again over the search apparently have not been responding to the family. So again, the family took it upon themselves to have a video and to go on live on Facebook. You can find that video on Brother Sherman Wells' page. I do believe I also shared that and Friends of First Sky Omaha for you to go check out as well. But yeah, so the family's still on the search, for their loved one. You know, having hard time now again getting support in that search from the police or the news outlet. So as usual, individuals taking matters into their own hands.
Yeah. I'm looking at I'm conversating with Brother Qasim right now. He says he's here. He says he's waiting in the waiting room, but he's not. I think he's in the wrong one. So I'm trying to get him straight real quick so we can bring him on. Let's see, Brother Qasim, if you can hear me right now. There's a link in the notes of the I think you're in the wrong chat. I think you're in the Windows chat, but go check out the notes and hit that link that's in the notes of the calendar invite. That'll get you in here with us. So, okay, there he is. All right, cool. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, brother Qasim Shabazz in the house. Hey, man.
Peace.
Sorry about the mix up there, bro.
What's going on with you fellas?
Nothing much, man. Sorry about the mix up there, bro. I thought you had the right link there. I didn't.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we got you on before we got out of here, man. How you doing today?
I'm all right. Just rotating the mental.
Yeah. Gotta keep it fresh, keep it sharp.
Yeah. It's a process, brother.
Yes, sir. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. We are kind of strapped for time. We were talking about the event that you have coming up Can you kind of give a little background and let the people know what's going on?
So it's a gang education seminar. The print, and it's actually, you notice it says Volume 1 Gang Education Seminar, because we have a stream of things that will be following that as Volume 2 and so forth. The idea behind the particular event is to, one, draw the awareness, and two, with the awareness comes the education. Right now, like I said, growing up, there was a program that I was a part of, and it was called DARE. The police ran it.
I remember that.
And still to this day, I'm almost 100% certain that I ended up not getting on to the drugs because of that awareness cycle. You see what I'm saying? At least not the hard stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so right now in our situation, there's nothing in place that gives these children a true education and a true history of the gang history, so forth and so on. So we're going to do that. And that's one of the things that we'll do, solution-based, is starting a stream of awareness processes for the children so that they can become educated and aware.
Bro, you the first person I heard ever talk about the DARE program actually working, actually helped you.
I mean, but it's interesting. I wanted to dive into that a little more as far as just programs. I mean, I'm Mama Guy, she'll tell you, like, I'm a product of many programs as far as just community. We talked about Sun Dogs. I was a part of the Boys and Girls Club, went to Hope Skate a little bit. Like, there were programs, and I'm kind of curious, as somebody who's dealing with the youth hands-on, really living that boots on the roots life. What programs do you know that are out there? Where do you send young men that you talk to, like, hey, bro, don't do this, you need to go over here and do that? Like, what else is out there that you see for these young people to do?
I send them to us.
There you go.
Straight up.
I send them to us, man, because the component that's missing, that have always missed, the time have changed, and the problems have advanced, things like DARE and Boys and Girls Club, and not dumping on anybody's parade, but those are not components that give the historical. They're not per se given the cultural, components. So, in conjunction with us educating them, we're also stimulating their minds with resources that we've produced, such as the hiking, the fishing, the hunting, the carpentry, and all that type of stuff like that, stuff that we've incorporated into our programming ran by Black men, dealing with young Black boys.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. Speaking of Black men, we got another brother. We finally got him the link now, so he's coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, brother Sherman Wells is in the chat. Good morning to you, my brother. How you doing? Uh-oh. Let's see. There he goes. How you doing?
Peace.
Hey, what's happening with you?
Hey, man, you got the green screen back there and everything.
Got the setup.
About, boy. Yeah, I like to see what you're doing these days with your videos and your live streams, man. That's as you see, that's where it's at. We gotta get the word out. So I appreciate you coming on through, bro. I'm sorry for the confusion this morning on the links, but we'll get it straight, and we're gonna have you good brothers on again. You said next week we talk about having y'all again too because of your event coming up, right? That's what's up. Can you hear us okay over there, Brother Wells?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's kind of like you're double.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I hear it's like I hear y'all and then I hear you again like an echo.
Okay.
Are y'all echoing to yourself?
No.
Okay. Good. I can handle it.
Are you echoing to yourself? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
You echoing too? Okay.
Maybe if you have some headphones, that might help.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Plug in some headphones if you can.
You can understand this though. First of all, I just want to ask. We did really get a chance to ask both of you brothers just how you guys doing personally, man. How you doing, just as human beings? What's going on with you?
Man, I'm doing all right. It's a process, but I'm doing okay.
They handed me my headphones.
Okay.
Getting right.
Hey, is that an Untamed jersey you got on now?
Oh yeah.
Man,
I got the gear, bro. I'm trying to get down. That's what's up.
Yeah, y'all tap in with Untamed, y'all, man. I got my fatherhood gear, man. Definitely check out Brother Wells and what he's doing.
We were just talking about gear around town, man, and about quality shirts and quality gear and stuff like that. Y'all doing the big things right now, man.
Yeah.
Von Chapman in chat says, so what is Omaha 360 doing except getting paid for taking credit for the work of others? Y'all seen Ricky Smith or Willie Barney? Okay, we gonna have Willie Barney on, but we also gonna have we also putting the word out to have Brother Ricky Smith on. Apparently, there's a lot of chat chimers got some questions. We got some questions, concerns. Have y'all first of all, have y'all ever worked with them two brothers or them two organizations at all?
I have not. And to be honest, and on the air, I have no intention on doing so.
Okay.
Why
is that?
Well, because I'm a nationalist. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for years, I heard you guys mention there's a lot of money that have come through the city. Okay. And for years, 360 and them, where they've had access to that, and our condition have gotten worse. And I'm in the streets. I'm in the streets for real. You know what I mean? So I noticed that what funders do, Europeans do, when they come to our communities, is they find the most docile of us, in my opinion, to funnel this money through to have the least amount of impact for us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? So until I see some moral changes, that's not a direction that I plan to go.
There you go,
brother Wells.
All right, now I finally got it. But quality of life, is that what you asked the question of?
Well, we were asking whether or not you, first of all, have you ever been associated or worked with any of the brother there at 360 Omaha 360 or Empowerment Network?
No. Well, actually, this last summer, I inadvertently worked with the Empowerment Network through Step Up. A couple of the Step Up kids was coming through to holler at Tamika Meese, and when they see me in the room with the green screens and the cameras, they like, oh, we want to stay here. And then just so happened that all four of the kids, I knew them somehow. So one of the kids, I hired his mom when he was not even born. So she was like 16. And by the time she had her baby, she was working at the store with me. I was her manager. And then the other kid, he was adopted, but I knew his adopted parents because one of his family members from that adopted family is married to one of my family members. And then the other little boy, his grandma used to come to the Bryan Center all the time, and then Josiah, her mom is friends with my cousin SB. And so all those kids knew me from those different things. And so they wanted to stay there with me. So I inadvertently worked with them to teach them how to make T-shirts. We did some of this journalism broadcasting, teaching them how to stream and make money online. And we still connected to this day,
Man, I mean, that's the importance of community relationships.
Yeah.
Being boots on the roots. That's what it is.
Hey, man, they and I love them kids. We had a great time this summer.
Hey, you gotta send them kids over to us, man, for this content creators camp that we got too, man. We drop some more education on them too. This is what
I can actually send you their contact information. I know for sure Timothy would love it, and so would Ted. So we actually got Kaylee Cersei ended up coming down, and she hopped on the podcast with the kids, and then she covered the story. So
nice, man. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Shout out to Kaylee Cersei, man. That is one of the realest journalists on Channel 7, bro. Anytime I can contact her and we got something going on, she fished the story, bro. She going hard.
That's good to know.
Nice. Okay.
That's good to know. Just want to let everybody know it's 1 minute to 9.
Yes.
We have an agreement to shut down at 9. So I hope that our chat chimers allow us to go past 9 o'clock. We're going to revamp the agreement a little bit, and we're gonna go a little bit later today so that we can have these brothers speak. Since it was partly our fault that we couldn't get him in here on time, I kind of wasn't really clear about that link. So if y'all don't mind, we'd love to have the brothers on for another 10, 15 and stay with us if you can. If not, then come back and check out the show a little later on Facebook and YouTube. and watch the show in its entirety. But Buddy, and I didn't ask you yet, Buddy, do you mind if we stay on a little longer here for the brothers?
Yeah. This is definitely a conversation that I wanted to have. And you know, two brothers that we need to have on. So this is necessary. I'll say that.
Good looking, good looking, good looking. Okay, so cool. Then yeah, please join us in the conversation. If you have any questions for the brothers too, please go ahead and put them in the chat if you're still with us. And like I said, if you missed any parts of this interview, then just go back and check it out on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you hanging with us and allowing us to go a little later today. Buddy, what was the things that was on top of your head you wanted to talk to the brothers about? I remember we were talking a little earlier about it.
Well, specifically, to you, brother Wells. Of course, I don't know if you know, but you know, I'm family members with Miss Lashonda. And and we've been talking about brother Pone, Mr. Levi Blake, still missing, and you've been kind of waving that flag, and you know, I know specifically for you, she's very, very appreciative of the work that you've been doing. And I just want to kind of you to explain and go into a little detail about the live that y'all had over the weekend, some of the troubles that they've been having. I was kind of explaining it, but could you kind of expound on that?
Yeah. So brother Blake, man. I dream about this brother, man, how much we looked for him. So, I mean, initially I just felt like, the fact is initially they wasn't having no contact with the police. And it took for us to come in there, you know, and me and my big mouth, the person that don't go away. I went straight to the police and asked them about why they wasn't getting no contact with the family. And so if you look at the story in totality, here's what they're holding on to. Mr. Blake was not under 24-hour care. So the police basically is saying he's a 80-year-old grown man. If he want to go and leave without telling nobody, he can do that. So they wasn't putting no emphasis on looking for him like that because of that, even though he had dementia. And I thought that was crap. You know, there's this Nebraska State Patrol wrote up a thing where what they considered an endangered person, and he didn't fit the criteria. So me and Leo today is going to get a full understanding of what this criteria that he needed to fit for them to take it serious that he was missing, you know. And so that's why they wasn't putting no emphasis, what they say anyway, on looking for him. And so once we got the detective that initially called them and then didn't talk to him for a couple weeks, by the time I got involved, that wasn't even the detective anymore. There was some other detective who had the case. He wasn't calling nobody, wasn't talking to nobody. And so, you know, I dug in him and he got them, started talking to him. And then he turned around and he did some of the work. I mean, a lot of the work as far as like going through the cameras and stuff that we can't get the businesses and home people to unveil. And then finally, that's when we was able to get a description of what he had on. This is 2 weeks later, though. And camera footage from the houses that he walked past. And so basically the camera that last picked him up on 31st and Bedford was that early childhood center on Ames, but they got a camera on the back of the building and they caught him on the corner of 31st and Bedford. And so from there, you really can't tell which way he went, whether he went down the boulevard or whether he went on 30th. And so what we did is just search the boulevard, we searched the park, we searched 30th, we searched 24th. I mean, literally, we done looked everywhere. And every day we check in the homeless shelters. We went through all the homeless encampments that we can think of, and still no sign. And we kind of drawing the conclusion that somebody had to pick him up on the boulevard because there's just, I mean, 80, it was 105. I just can't see where else he could have went from that point. So we still not giving up hope as far as, because you know, there's nothing turned up at the coroner's office. Nobody's in jail. He ain't unidentified in the hospital. We done thought of everything. So, but now our strategy is going back to the police to demand some more resources to get it done, because yeah, we've checked the jail. But the thing is, the cadaver dog or a hound dog or any kind of scent tracking dog was never used. They did use a body dog, but that wasn't until way after the fact. And we didn't even have the information if he was on 31st and Bedford. So when they brought a cadaver dog out, they went up and down Lake because that was the assumed area at first because of the lack of the communication. After that live yesterday, he called me on a Sunday. And like, hey, Mr. Wells, like, yeah, because I left some pretty crazy messages, if you know me, and he replied and told me he was sick, and that's why he hadn't returned our calls. And but this is a whole person, and people's lives stand still when stuff like this happen. So while y'all have other cases and things, their life has stood still, and we have to still keep them updated and focus on helping them find their dad. Mr. Blake, man, every day I ask myself, where did you go? I don't believe that people just up and disappear.
Right.
So,
He has to be somewhere. Man,
it's real.
And
man.
the difficulty, I think, really with them is the communication between the police just wasn't happening. And they recently, the 72-year-old woman came up missing, and she was found within a week. But they used drones and planes with radar and infrared, and they covered for the neighborhood. They actually covered all the grassy terrains with vehicles and all that. We had to walk through those terrains. I actually lost my dog going through some woods once. But the next day I went back and she was still running around the woods, so we got her back. But we had to cover that heavy terrain on our own. It wasn't let's get some vehicles and stuff. The sheriff department did come out one day for about an hour and walked half of Adams Park when we thought he was still in there. But yeah, man.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that 72-year-old woman had the complexion for protection. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I think she had the complexion for protection, because they was on it within hours. Bro.
How much does the community come out to help, man? You been getting community support?
The first search, I was out of town, so I think it was probably a handful of people, like 6, 7, 8. The search that I started being a part of, it was probably about the same. And then the last one we had about 12 to 15 people. But it hasn't been a lot of community assistance. And so already Terry, Levi's son, saying that he want to start a North Omaha search party that's already put together, and that we get active when stuff like this happen, because it's a nightmare for him. They missed a lot of work them first few weeks, and just going back to work, trying to have a mindset of work while your father is missing is very difficult. And so, they just really been going through it. I just do my part to be supportive. And like you said, you related to him. People ask me all the time, why am I going so hard for him? Am I related to him? But no, I'm not related to Mr. Pone. I've been knowing Shonda since middle school, and I love her like a sister. And when she called me and I heard her crying, I just, I had to get active for her,
Definitely. And when she told me, that's why I was like, oh yeah, we'll definitely have Brother Wells on Monday, and I'm gonna definitely bring it up and use this platform to kind of spread that message.
Yes,
sir. What we do.
We just put the GoFundMe in the chat too, so hit that up. You just heard Brother Wells talk about it, man. It's hard to work when your father's missing. Your whole life stops. So financial support, some financially supporting, helping the family get out there and take the time, and also not just just financial support, but boost to the roots. If you can, get out there and help too. When there's some organized searches going on, definitely volunteer. Take some walks around the neighborhood. Keep your eyes open. Check your door cameras out and everything else too. And just keep, we say it every show we got to put it up, because
yes, sir,
we all still looking. And Miss Erica said in the chat something interesting. She said, I feel like he's with someone who thinks they're helping and they don't know who he is or who to contact.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, and hopefully we get the word out even more. You having any trouble with any of the mainstream media trying to really kind of getting the word out as far as media?
So they'll cover it. They covered it while it was the story or the topic of the conversation. But like I said, life goes on, stories happen, more things happen. And so rerunning the story is not happening. No. We've tried to get them to rerun it. So that was the reason why we did our live. And I'm glad that, we on First Sky, we got to make sure that we creating our own media and information about reminding the community that he is still missing.
For sure. We just showed a clip of your show that you got going on. Well, you gotta give me a link for that if you can. Put it in the chat. And if you got people if you want people to grow, come look at your thing that you got going on too. Especially with all the information that you were providing here on your. Every time I see you do a live stream, I'm tripping. Like, man, this you really got your hand on the pulse, bro. We look at you guys as the cats that got the boots on the roots,
For real,
the authorities of what's going on in our neighborhoods for real.
man. Actually, speaking of that a little bit, brother Qasim, can you kind of give us a little insight, or are there any updates on what the BAA is doing with their podcast studio? I understand you just acquired some space and using it for podcasting and things like that. Like, you can speak to that a little more. Any updates?
Yeah, we were supposed to have been dropping this coming Sunday.
Okay.
The problem is that I got a call from Bud. Was it yesterday or the day before? They had booked my ticket and all that, so I got to go back to Vegas on Friday and do his protection work for the Canelo Charlo. So we're going to extend that out a week as well. So we ready. We were supposed to start this Sunday, but it'll be the week after that.
Okay, so whenever that does drop, please link us in so we can make sure we pass that through our channels, let our people know what's going on, and teamwork make that dream work.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. That's really
But I did want to let y'all brothers know that we did. I don't think I mentioned it. I think I talked to Paul a little bit, but we did lock in Umar Johnson for the Black Agenda Alliance anniversary.
Okay.
December 2nd. We haven't started pushing it yet, but we will, and he is locked in. And we bring characters like that in to push our initiatives. So the question you asked me earlier, like I said, man, we do things a little bit differently on this side. So
I hear you. That's hot news, man. You get breaking news here.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Omaha, bro. Breaking news. So be looking out for that. I mean,
more details.
More details to come, and however we can support any of that, man, let us know for sure. For sure.
You said December 2nd?
December 2nd is our projected date. So yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, yeah, just keep us posted, bro. Keep us posted.
All right.
And a little bit more about this intervention here at 9:30. This is the one that you're saying is going to be pushed back to
October 7th.
October 7th.
October 7th. Yeah, I'll have an updated flyer dropping today with a new date. But yeah, that right there is our baby. Me and Qasim, we've been working on that for a while. And we decided to break it down to everybody's strengths of what they can bring to the table. And man, y'all gonna be proud of us, man. It's beautiful.
That's what's up, man. We've been talking about this every show too, man.
Yeah, man.
Because we recognize that you guys are the only ones really sitting down there talking to the families, man. We encourage everybody to bring their families, bring their kids.
Yes.
And really have some real conversation about what's going on here. Nobody's doing this kind of thing right here. There's only a handful. I would say you guys, some of the things that Malcolm X Memorial Foundation are doing, and really just trying to put it out there that we need to be talking to these families. Families need support. The families need support. The kids directly need to be talked to. Need to have a conversation with some people that are about it. So. I love our lanes, bro. Like I wasn't in it that way back in the days. I can't really say too much to kids that are in it, but you guys can. And then once things get straight, then we can kind of take it and say, hey, here's some things you can do now that you got some time in your life to get with on this media tip and so on and so forth. How to make some money with media and everything else that there's out there for them to do. So I always put out there that we want to help do some of the team up. And we want to team up and help do some of the work as well, and really love it, man. Wanda Lewis is saying, brother Sherman Wells is definitely a content creator.
Oh yeah, you
doing the thing, bro.
You know what? I tell you though, my biggest thing was like when we did look for Levi, we came across like the East Side Spencer projects, completely open, no windows, no doors. Anybody could walk in and out of there. We had to bring that attention to. We had to bring that to the attention of OHA and, the homeless encampment that was right next door to the new development on the west side of Spencer Projects. We came across that. So here you got new development right on the other side of the street. You got homeless people that's, displaced. And I mean, that kind of stuff, like Vaughn said, like nobody really talks about the truth of North Omaha. It's a lot of sweeping under the rug. And so, when we get some time, we'll cover all that stuff. But right now, my focus has really been on Mr. Blake, and so that's why. Yeah, I mean, I could be doing a whole bunch of different other things as far as content and talking about stuff, but I really just been focused on finding Mr. Blake.
Man, we appreciate that. Definitely. I know for sure, Mashonda does. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm looking. I'm glad that you guys are ventured into this. You guys are coming. I mean, this is like I feel like our territory right here. This is where we at in the media, bro. And you doing so much, brother Wells, that we can't help. We got to team up with you on stuff, and also brother Qasim, you got the podcast studio coming too. Wherever you can see us helping fit in, man. Also on any kind of programming is concerned, or any kind of training is concerned, or any of that. We all the way down. We can do what we can do, and we can do that. So we can help however you guys see us fitting in that. Sure.
Yes, sir. We definitely appreciate y'all with the media
and the sponsorship too. Thank you.
Sponsorships, man. Y'all always tapping in, so y'all are doing what you are supposed to be doing, and we really love y'all and appreciate that, man.
That's right,
man. Okay. Good.
For the same way.
Man.
This is definitely King's Monday right here. This is Men's Monday. We used to have Women's Wednesday every time last season. Now we got Men's Monday, so that's what's up.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Tamika Reese just popped in and said, "Hey, much love for my bro Sherman Wells and for Qasim Shabazz. Aside for the work that they do with our youth, that's how
man.
we feel about it.
We need it. Like it's cliche, but the youth really are the future, and how much investment we put into our youth is how much investment we put into the future. So what's happening next? What's coming up next? So yeah, definitely appreciate you, brothers. Any time or any way we can help. We there. We there.
The youth is very important. I think without if we don't recognize now that the young people is our future, and we're not giving them the tools to survive and be great, we'll be the old people wondering what happened.
Right. And older, and I watch like this. Sometimes the older our community gets, man, the more fearful they get. The more they can't fight back as easy. So they start showing, getting them in the home and staying in the house, and then all of a sudden they start pushing for stuff that keep people in jail more, and all kind of fear start coming in when you get older. So you stay bold as you get old. Number one,
man.
Number two, have a community around you that's going to protect you, so you can keep up that fight.
I think, brother Qasim, I think you made a post about that in the past that I came across that really stuck with me, as far as not being afraid to talk to the young shooters in the community, not being afraid to actually talk to the young people, and don't approach them with the spirit of fear, like approach them with a spirit of love, and trying to really talk to them on a human level. That really stuck with me, because you can't be afraid, to really speak with them and really pound the pavement and put boots to the roots for real. Like, it really takes strength and courage and love. So, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to probably believe that everybody human, and we all react the same to respect.
Go ahead, brother.
When you like, I come from it, you know what I mean? So I know, because I come from it, I understand the condition at that particular time. I always say, and some people may have an issue with accepting it, but the shooter is a victim too. You know what I mean? And because of what's been done to that shooter, to get that shooter to the point in which and where he's a shooter to begin with. You know what I mean? I used to be all that. So we have to deal with that. And a lot of these little guys that shoot, man, you wouldn't even imagine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you have to deal with them with love and compassion. And stuff like that, man. So knowing how they're feeling at that particular time, got a lot to do with coming from that.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about a shooting that went down, and I think somebody was as young as 12 years old was involved in it, and it made me just think, like, man, what had to happen in his life by 12 where he was ready to go? That's got to be a tragic story in the first place. So you're right. As they victims too. Everybody got something. Everybody got their something, man. We got to figure it out. Vaughn Chapman said Nico Jenkins was a victim.
Yeah,
we just talked about that. They just aired that.
He right.
Sins of the City
just came out. I know a few of us talked to the folks about this, and I talked to him too. And I don't know if I'm on it. I haven't seen it yet. They might have cut me out. Who knows? But when I was on it, I had to ask him a whole bunch of questions. What you trying to say with this? and they convinced me that they were going to really mention that the system let us down. The system let us down, and the system is just to blame. They even say it on the promo. The system is just to blame as the people that committed the crime. So hopefully I'll see. I hope I'm not speaking before I see it and feel some kind of way about it. But I'm thinking that they went ahead and they approached that in a way that is saying what we're saying about it. Like you just said, the shooter is the victim too. You know what I'm saying? So we've been talking about it for a long time, since Mind and Soul days, about how the system let him down from the time he was a kid till now. System letting him down right now still.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the only thing that's really gonna help is systems like Buddy was talking about, the programs that'll help, and especially programs that are given by brothers that were in it, that are on the Boost to the Roots right now, that are talking to the kids face to face right now, and then hopefully we can build some things that'll give them something to do once they get that message.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's a good plan, and with the kind of cat I'm like, we got a good plan, let's stick to it, put our heads down and do the work and go for it. So
Right.
you guys are leading the forefront of that as far as we're concerned. So we really appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, two kings, two leaders, two real gentlemen in the community. We appreciate y'all. If y'all not familiar, tap in. Black Agenda Alliance, Untamed.
Yep.
Please get involved. Please support the work that they're doing, because it's the real work.
And
Not
you
just
know,
to feel
and to
good.
be honest, both of those entities are one.
There you go.
Untamed 100%, and I'm Black Agenda Alliance 100%, man. It's because the system, and when we created those, we were separate, but the mission is still the same. So you can say either one when it comes down to it. And like they said, the system does exactly what it's supposed to do. It does, because that system was created by the people who want to see us, our demise. You know, they want to see us kill each other. So there's a system put in place, which that system overrides the true nature of who we are. And so when we get so caught up in that system, then we stay further away from our true self. And like Ms. Wanda said, we are creators. So that system takes us away from creating and loving and being the people who our ancestors were, that built so many great things when they was creating together.
Man,
that system takes us to a part of hatred and not even liking ourselves, you know, and that's what we up against.
Man, we definitely got to learn to love instead of hate. Definitely have to learn to love instead of hate.
Facts.
Yeah, and it's terrible. One thing I can say is I look at those children now as the birth of the army. They're fearless. They're not turning the other cheek. They're not going to deal with that stuff. And if something comes up, they want to handle it instantly. The problem is they don't have any generals guiding their thoughts of where to put that energy. So they're turning on themselves. And I look at that as our fault for not being out there. You know, you got a whole army ready for war, but nobody to command them. No generals to guide them. Nobody to teach and train them how to be a man. And like Qasim, focus on, if they're going to carry guns, carry it the right way, the legal way. Use it for protection of your family, not to hurt and destroy another family. You know, we have to get them to the point where they understand that the enemy is not you. When you look in the mirror, it's not the people that look like you. It's a system that we fighting, you know. Man,
just
anybody who promote that system, black or white, then that makes them part of that. And so you can't say, oh, you drawing the line or you're creating. No, the line is drawn when you chose what system to subscribe to. You know,
well said, perfectly said. Yeah, whoever you are, whatever.
Whoever, it don't matter to me at this point. If you going against the children, or if you are part of the system that's poisoning the children, then we got a problem.
That's
right.
There you go. That's right.
Brother Qasim, you got any final words for the people before we get out of here?
Man, just following up with what Sherman said, you know, all that, you know, and so again, I just want to kind of go back to the question that was asked to me earlier today. And some of those systems, we have to accept that some of those systems we lead in, you know what I mean? So I'm one of them people. I look and I assess something, and then I look at the end agenda, you know, and I've been through so much and seen so much, man, that you know, we just have to do for self understanding and knowing that the condition is one that's, like the brother said in here, you know, is the system is doing exactly what it's designed to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean, ain't no kumbaya. Ain't none of that. So once you understand, like Von Chapman said, the system is doing exactly what it's designed to do. Once you understand that, you move differently.
Right.
Mhm.
As the gloves come off, you know what I mean? Now the enemy look like me, it look a little bit like you. You see what I'm saying? And then them, you know.
Hey, I,
Mhm.
So
hey, I heard a brother say earlier. He said the axe comes into the forest. The trees start looking around each other and say, look at the handle. The handle's one of us.
Mm.
You
Mm.
can't swing that piece of metal. You got to have that handle on it to swing them, chop them trees down,
And the
bro.
handles wood.
that's right.
Man.
So identifying those
That's
of
heavy.
us who look like us, who prefer to identify themselves as being them by certain agendas, you know.
Right.
So it's even more scarier to me than somebody who look like them.
Yeah.
Man, got to have you back on. Spend some more time, bro. For real. Really appreciate you
Yeah.
guys coming on through. We let you go. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. We way past time, but I really appreciate all your words of wisdom and you guys sharing your time with us for sure. For those of you who don't know, when he said the champ call him, man, he rolled with Bud, the champ, bro. So you know what I'm saying. A cat that can whoop my tail upside and down and sideways. He got a body. He got a bodyguard, and that's him right there. You know? So, we appreciate that, man. I know you guys went out there and saw Dave Chappelle, right? Was y'all to Dave
Yes,
Chappelle,
sir.
right?
Yeah. I
Nah.
seen y'all,
You didn't hit
man.
it?
I was we was at the front row. I seen y'all come down and cut, man. That show was live, man.
Yeah,
Live,
yeah. It's a good time.
live.
It's a good time.
And much respect to Dave for bringing the champ on stage. You don't come to
Yeah.
nobody's house and don't call him up on the stage like that. I thought
Right.
that was very respectful and a cool thing. So I'm glad you got a chance to get out too, have a little good time, bro. You put in
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of work. You too, brother Wells. I hope you are doing some self-care, taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I
And
spent all day yesterday with my family. Family pictures. We did some family pictures in front of Vivian's Memorial Historical Marker.
Okay.
And went out to eat and then went downtown. And so, yeah, we spent all day yesterday together, grandkids and all.
Beautiful.
uh,
Beautiful. There you go.
all right,
Man.
fellas. Thanks for joining us, man. We're gonna go ahead and let you guys go, but thank you again. Really,
Yeah,
really appreciate
real
it.
quick, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of your people in the chat. Von Chapman, he called me this week. Last week we've been talking, and Tamika Renee, man, she, that step up stuff I was talking about, she ended up paying me to do that. So contrary to any beliefs, Miss Tamika, she has been working with us hands on. So I got to give a shout out to her. She's part of the, I say it's a machine that battles the system. There's pieces in the machine that helps it move, and she's one of those pieces. And Mr.
Word.
Chapman and Jurassic Clark, all those guys, Steve Abraham, man, all shouts out to all of y'all and all of us that's a part of this machine that's moving towards taking down that system,
There we go. There you go. Fight the power.
Yes,
Hey, I
sir.
appreciate all the people that came in and checked out today. I'm saying, like I said, the new names, Tamika Renee. Our youth are experiencing something totally different in their generation. Social media pandemic, younger grandparents, hunger, housing crisis, unsupervised youth, raising younger siblings and cousins, lack of self-love, and living in a crisis daily. There's a lot of work to do. We all play a part, and every tool is necessary. Wow.
Man. Just pick your battle.
What's up? I wish we could talk some more, man. We gonna have to go ahead and get out of here, man. Get to that 9 to 5 and all that good stuff. But really appreciate you guys coming on through, and we'll do it again very soon. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and say how about next week? That'll be a little closer to the event too, so we can really push
Okay.
and get some folks there
Yes,
and
sir.
promote. Yeah, and
Sure.
check in on brother Blake, man. On top of that, so
Yeah. Levi.
yeah, appreciate y'all, fellas.
All right, brother. Y'all be easy.
Peace.
Love.
You do the same. Peace. Love.
All right,
Man.
worth it. Worth staying on, bro. For real.
Yeah.
Very happy about that. Thanks for everybody that joined us. Again, if you missed any parts of that broadcast there, that interview there, you can go to First Sky Omaha, the Facebook page and the YouTube page, and check it out in its entirety. Check out the chat when you do. And for everybody, all the new people that have been on the chat, man, really appreciate you. Cashel Wells, I'm seeing. Jurassic Clark, I think I saw your name once before. I really appreciate all the new people that are in the chat that came through to see what was going on with the brothers and hear what we got to talk about here. Please tell a friend, spread the word, like and subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. We're gonna keep the conversation going. As you see, we're gonna bring them fellas on next week as well on the new Men's Monday around here on First Sky Omaha. So Kings in the house, and
Man.
we'll keep it going. Keep it going. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Thanks for everybody who has stayed with us this late. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Nah, man. Again, just thank you. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. Same spiel every time. Catch the same time, same place. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning.
There you go. Pop says 5 awesome brothers on the show today. Phenomenal. See you guys on Wednesday. Appreciate that, Pop. Stephen Abraham says the re-rise of the people is evident.
Hey.
Come on,
man.
I love it. Thank you again for everybody that joined us. I want to thank the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Thanks to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And thanks to you, the chat chimers, and our guests for allowing us to speak with you on all these subjects. Could not do this show without you. This is really what this is about. Really appreciate everybody who is getting down. Oh, the beekeeper, my man. I need a call. I need some honey, bro. I got to give you a call. Jurassic Clark. I knew I recognized that name.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. My coffers have been empty. I have to come and hook it up with you. Appreciate that. So definitely thank, man, the community here is just awesome. I love it.
So what's about?
Everybody. Peace to all y'all. We'll see you Wednesday. Again, thank you very much. All the people that are reoccurring members of the channel as well. $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people. Thank you. Thank you. That helps us keep this thing rolling. If you're so inclined, go to firstskyOmaha.com, hit the donate button, and help us continue this as well. And man, keep an eye out for Brother Blake, and we're going to continue. Yeah. We're going to continue to do that, and continue to work with you guys. So really appreciate you in today's show. I can't even tell you how much. This is what this is all about for me.
Thank you.
This is what this is all about. Y'all take care of yourselves. Have a nice day. It's supposed to be pretty nice out today, about 80 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah, moderate weather. This is what it's all about. That's what it's all about. You guys have a good one. We're out of here. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red